Welcome to the show, and here are your hosts, the diabolical Elite Gaming Guru, the illustrious Red Dead Panda, and the Australian stud AshtreyGaming. So let's get this party started. Shit.
And we're live.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. We've listened to your feedback, everybody. This is episode 101 of the Gamers Initiative podcast. Elite is here, but he is on mute. No, I'm kidding.
We decided to tell him to get lost.
We've muted him.
Yeah, we just muted him. You won't hear him at all this show. Please let us know if you can hear us. That's what I would like to know, if you can actually hear us. But yeah, I can't believe it. We did 100 episodes last week. Insane amount of people. And I just kind of want to shout out everyone who joined us last week and everyone who's joining us today. We've got quite a few amazing people in the chat. We've got Fuck You. We've got Mr. Bushido. We've got Boba Fett. Too bad Elite's not here to say it. Thank goodness. And
I'm here now.
oh, fuck off. Umbra.
Oh,
we have
no.
got Tryhard. We even have Other Zinc in the chat. And just for you, Other Zinc, I'm going to say rubbish. Anyway, let's find out what everyone's been playing. Jen, what have you been up to this past week? It's been a while. I know you were on Xbox Infinite's podcast. Was it last week? Week before?
I think it only just finished, didn't it? The show?
Yeah, it might have.
Yeah, we've been going on all this time. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, congrats for getting to 100 shows, you guys. I'm sorry I couldn't be there. I'm not as hardcore as Umbra. I can't do 7 podcasts in one night. So I was having a nap so that I could make it for Riskit's show. And I woke up and you had like, I don't know, 25 people on your show.
Yeah.
Which was amazing, yeah. But yeah, they all turned out for you. I'm really chuffed for you guys. But I'm here now for 101.
Yeah, and it's as Elite worked out, it's after 100. So that was really good of him.
Yeah.
But what have you been playing?
Yeah.
What have you been up to?
I will give you 3 guesses as to what I've been playing.
Ooh.
When has
Depends
Dion...
if you've been on Twitter recently.
Elite.
Yeah, I've been playing with him as well, but I have been playing Diablo 4, so I am officially allowed to reveal today that I was on the review build, so I've played the game, I've completed it.
Completed the story.
Yes.
Damn.
Ooh.
Yes,
was at the end?
Has the embargo lifted or
Obviously-
something for it?
Yes,
So
there's a few embargoes. Today they lifted the embargo where we can actually tell people that we were involved. In a few days we're allowed to say what we thought. So unfortunately I can't say what I thought of the game. I'm sure you can come to your own conclusion.
energy, yeah.
Why have we got you on?
And the tweets this past week.
Yeah, I've been a bit insane. I've been close to the edge. Just writing constant Diablo content, and it's only going to get worse from here. So from launch, if you don't like Diablo and you're not interested, just unfollow me on Twitter because I'm going to be insufferable. But yeah, so I can say I've been playing that. So I've been playing that all week. I did finish the story. I haven't played any end game content because I thought, you know what, I'm going to play this game a million times over with my friends and family. So I don't want to like completely burn out at the first part of it. So I've just played through the story to get an idea of it and take some screenshots for our guides.
do you
and stuff.
rate
Nice.
She can't
can't
talk
say.
about
She
it.
can't say any of that.
I'm not allowed to.
Oh, really?
Maybe next time.
Do
Can you just give a number though?
No, I can't. I can't say anything. I will say I was playing on PC, so I will be starting from. I'll be starting from scratch again on Xbox with everyone else. They gave us builds that we could play on the on Battle.net, and we're not allowed access to them once that goes down. So I've lost my character forever, which is kind of heartbreaking. But it'll be nice starting with everyone from scratch. It's only like seasons work anyway. You start a seasonal character, don't you, from level 1?
Yeah.
Every season, if anyone's familiar with Diablo 3.
Yep.
So it's fine. It's fine. I'll live.
Very good.
But-
You've got Boba Fett in the chat, very jealous of you. He's been hanging out for that for a while.
When's it go live again for the
It's
early
like
access?
next week, isn't it?
4 days early,
So
right?
early access is on the 1st of June. It was meant to be the 2nd, but they confirmed it's actually the 1st.
Is that because
But it'll be a different time depending on what country you're in.
Yeah, I was going to say, is that because of Australia and New Zealand being like in the future?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, you guys are in the future, so you're just ruining the time zones for
What are you
everybody.
talking about? We were in the future. I was watching the PlayStation showcase early. We'll be talking about that later. And whew, I was wrong.
And you scored it early too.
I'd scored it early. I didn't. Yep.
I will say, so if I've been coming across as unhinged on Twitter, it's because I am. So I was playing the build, and at one point my PC crashed during a cutscene. Yeah, and when I reloaded the game, that cutscene was gone, and I didn't know what happened, so I cried for 30 minutes. I've been waiting for this game for years and years. I was really upset about it because I'm like, this is my first experience of this game, and I've like
How far
lost
into the
this
game
cutscene
was
forever.
the cutscene?
There's 6 acts, and I was in Act 5.
Ooh.
So yeah,
so
it was
when you
pretty,
do your next
pretty
playthrough,
integral.
and you're in a party with people, you'll be like, shh. Nobody talk.
No,
I've missed it."
actually. So I sent the guys at Windows Central a message. I'm not playing this game now. I've turned it off. I'm deleting it. I'm not playing it until I can play it with everybody else because I don't know what's happened in that cutscene. So the rest of the story won't make sense to me, and I was really like butthurt about it. But after I calmed down, like 24 hours later, I opened the game again, and I don't know what happened, but I managed to get it to back before that cutscene and play through it and finish it. So yeah, I had hissy fit for no reason because it was absolutely fine after I'd restarted a couple of times.
Hey, you.
But yeah, that's how emotionally invested I am in this game. Yeah. So no, it's been fun. If you'd have told me like this time last year that I would be playing Diablo early access, I wouldn't have believed you because I've not been doing this very long really. I only started writing for Windows Central in August last year, so I've not been doing it a year. But yeah, this is where we are. I'm pretty chuffed.
Great. Only up from here.
Elite, what
Yeah, hopefully.
what have you been up to this week? Playing this week?
I've been playing Conan Exiles. Yeah.
Are you joking?
What?
No, he's never joking about that game, Jen. You should know.
All
That.
these games to play, you're playing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, why are we playing it? Can't stop it.
I've got Planet of Lana up on the screen, guys. Like, why were you not playing that at least? It's like a really short game to play.
What kind of game is it? Is it a platformer?
Well,
Puzzle platform.
puzzle
like Ori?
platformer. No, nothing like Ori in that respect. It's really short. It's just its art style's really beautiful. It's got a nice little story behind it. Yeah, it's not overly complicated or anything like that. So it's not a Metroid type Vania style game at all. No.
Okay, that's why I'm not playing any of it. No, seriously, I'm playing Conan Exiles today and Hunt Showdown. Yeah.
Remind
I'll
us.
play Redfall actually in a couple of weeks.
Remind
I might
us-
get back into try Redfall.
Is that if they have a 60 FPS patch? Why do we have you on the panel, Elite? If all you do is play Conan?
I play the games you don't play. I play the.
Yeah, I don't play
the
Conan. You are
MMOs.
correct.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
He's our resident Conan Exiles expert. You know, how many
Basically.
podcasts can say that they've got one of those?
None.
I play all the MMOs and all the multiplayer games. So
So you must be looking for all those gas games on PlayStation. Looking forward to it.
Yeah. A few of them didn't do too bad. Yeah. Well, what do you mean? The ones coming to Xbox?
We'll get to- Sorry, guys. Ashtray,
Yeah.
what have you been playing?
I'm the only one that played Redfall here. Hello.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's at 30. I told you, I'm refusing to play it until it's at 60
We have higher
FPS.
standards than you, that's
Yeah,
why we're
yeah.
waiting.
I'm a real
Exactly.
gamer, Elite. You know.
Exactly. 60 or nothing, Elite. Come on.
If Starfield drops at 30, will you play?
I'm not playing it. No.
Nope.
Really?
Nope.
Yep.
I'm not playing it.
So if all games now drop at 30 going forward, this is gonna be a really quiet panel, isn't it?
Yep. Like Spider-Man, apparently. Anyway.
Yeah. Oh, that's another story.
I'll just quickly run through a few of the games I've been playing. I've been playing that Superland 6 Inches Under. I've been playing Somerville. I finished that off finally. I jumped into that Planet Lana too, so I've still got to continue playing that. And that Games with Gold game, which is actually quite good as well.
What game's the gold game?
I don't even know how to pronounce it. It's HOA, Hoa. I don't know, but that was really good. That's a short game as well, a couple of hours. And you can get an easy 1,000 gamer score on that as well. So
That's the reason you guys play these short games, gamer score.
No, indie experiences are a real pleasure, guys.
Actually, yeah.
It's bad as Risk.
But I do recommend that game because it's actually quite good.
Risk It plays Butterfly Simulator 5000. I have never touched that game. Okay.
What have you played this week, Red?
Planet of Lana. What else have I played? I feel like I've played games. Oh my god.
You feel like you play games.
Basically,
nothing that memorable.
Yeah, basically I think it was just Planet of Lana this week, and maybe going back in and I started that freaking Man Eater game. I don't know how I feel about it.
Oh, the shark one.
Yeah, because I
played that ages ago. That's an old game. That's good though. I enjoyed
it's
that
on
game.
Game Pass. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been on there a while. It's been on there for a
Yeah,
year.
so I just started that. I haven't really had a lot of time. Like my induction group finished off this week, so the training has finished. So I was tidying up all of that, and then I'm on a 4-day weekend, so I had to do a whole heap of prep before I took my 4-day weekend, and that ate into my gaming time, sadly. But I managed to, watch the Sony PlayStation Xbox showcase, and that's about it. But I did finish Planet of Lana. I went through and got the shrines. I'm not going to go and play that game without dying because I killed my cat so many times. It needed more than 9 lives. But that cat is so cute. It's like a cat monkey, and I kind of wanted it as a plushie. Give me a plushie.
Are you going to play Stray when it comes out on Xbox?
I will, but I'm disappointed you can't customize your cat.
It's a cat bum simulator. I told you.
Anyway, let's get into some topics.
Moving on.
Right? Yeah, moving on. Yeah. Okay, well, I know Jen has some thoughts about this, but the first topic we're talking about, the Lord of the Rings reviews. Oh, I haven't even changed our text thing for the OBS stuff. I'm really bad.
Just write Elite's a fraud.
Yeah, I might just go and change that to that. What was I going to say was the Lord of the Rings Gollum reviews are in, and they recommend putting it in the bin. Some people are recommending that. Yeah. How sad is that?
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So I was reading this. What do they expect? We spoke about this a couple of weeks ago, didn't we? About the Gollum game, didn't we? And we said it's basically going to be like that game. What was that game where you play little goblin?
Sticks.
Creepy around. Sticks. We said it's going to be like that. It's going to be a little silly stealth simulator game. And it's going to be really dull. It's going to have nothing to it. We all said that, didn't we? Do you remember?
Yeah.
You remember the conversation? Yep. And they've come out and said it's that, exactly.
Yeah, they have. A lot of the reviewers have said that.
Yeah, so I'm not sure what the shock was. What was I expecting from this? What was you expecting from Gollum? I don't know what they was expecting.
Yeah, but how do you get an IP like The Lord of the Rings wrong?
Yeah.
You've got so much to draw from. There's such a rich story and universe. How do you get that wrong? I just don't understand it, and I'm really disappointed in them actually. I mean, Gollum, he looks like my teenager when he hasn't had a bath for 3-4 days. Just crawling out his room looking for food. What is that hair all about?
Yeah, I feel like
it looks like Elite when he's getting caught in the moment.
Yeah.
I mean, put a beard on.
The moment's over too quickly.
Put a beard on Gollum, and it's definitely Elite. Yeah.
True.
Yeah. Anyway, but
it's a game no one asked for, right?
Yeah, it's the game no one asked for. No game nobody ever cares for. Even hardcore Lord of the Rings fans, I can't see why they'd be like, "Yeah, it must play Gollum." The character that was the character that really dragged out the movies. If you're watching it, you think, "Oh, yeah." At the beginning, it was good, and after a while, you're thinking, "Oh, I just want to skip past Gollum." It was almost like the Hobbits. The scenes of the Hobbits. After a while, you're thinking, "Fucking just get."
Yeah, but I love the movies. I love The Hobbit, The Lord of the Rings, and I would have been really I would have been ecstatic to find out more about Gollum's story. but they've just completely obliterated it by the looks of it. And I'm actually mad at them for getting this wrong. I just think you've been given the keys to the universe here, and you've fucked it up.
I agree.
Probably a bit of a stretch, but yeah.
Yeah, it is. But it's just turned into a cash grab, hasn't it?
I don't
what
think
it
it's a
is.
bit of a stretch. That IP is massive.
He's the
That's like coming from living in New Zealand, where like Hobbiton and Middle Earth and all of that, we're basically, that is a massive thing. Sir Peter Jackson put that on the map and really brought Lord of the Rings to the forefront. And then to see this as a result, so just disappointing. I was really concerned anyway when they showed us an image of Gollum, and I was like,
In
he
his
just
comb
seems
over.
super fucking like super childish looking, and I was like, I'm never gonna play this game.
It's like someone thought, how do we make this guy look younger? Let's just give him a few more hairs. It just doesn't make any sense at all.
To
me.
No idea how they managed to
Yeah.
think that this was okay. It was also just kind of interesting about I'm trying to think about how they charged for like the Elvish add-on pack for language, you know? So that was a separate charge in itself, and I'm like, what? And no wonder they're getting trashed. Like, I can't even remember what the scores are, but the scores, is it sitting in red?
It's like
It is, it's really bad.
It's like 4s and 5s and 6s.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything above a 6.
And they came out, and Jen was nice enough to pop it in the chat, but they came out and with like an apology and how they'd let everyone down, and it's like, did you have anyone who's like a Lord of the Rings fan come through and like have a look at this game? Like what internal reviews? What was happening
who
internally?
tested this game? Who tested it? Even the text in the game that I thought it was really funny. I was watching someone on YouTube play through it. Even the quest markers and the way that the text comes up for them, it looks like someone's made that in MS Paint. It's like there's no design gone into this game at all. So it's just been thrown together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, there was some gameplay a couple of months back, or maybe even further back, and I remember looking at that, just thinking, no one's really going to be interested in just kind of crawling around in and out of bushes, and just again like sticks. Yeah, no one, like Boba and I tried playing sticks in co-op, thinking maybe it's more fun, and it was still sucked. So, and these guys, this dev team that's created from Hamburg, they've not really brought out anything notable. So I don't know how they were sort of handed this IP to, in the first place. Who actually owns, what big company owns this IP? Do you know, Red?
Like who owns the Lord of the
Rings IP? Yeah.
I think it's owned through like who's the name of the company? Who's the name of the guy who writes it? Something Tolkien. I think they have like
it's his family.
I think it's like a trust type thing, and they give it out that way. Because I know WB Games through Montreal, they did the Shadow and
Shadow of Mordor
and whatever the other one was.
And that was a really good game.
Yeah, so they
did a really
lent
good
out
job
that
with
IP to be used by that particular studio and such. But for this one, honestly, it's concerning when that stuff happens. And
so I'm looking here, and Lord of the Rings IP is owned by Embracer Group.
Oh, they
apparently
own it now.
Yeah, so they own it, and Amazon are leasing it from them just to make their
the
MMO.
TV show.
No, the MMO, because they've got an MMO game, haven't they, in the works?
Yeah, but they also made the TV show, didn't they? Amazon Prime.
They did, yeah.
The Rings of
That
Power.
was a great show as well. Did anyone watch that?
I did, and I loved it. But people were like,
yeah, I loved it.
I loved it.
Haters.
Yeah.
No, they did a good job with it, I thought.
Yeah, I enjoyed
I'm going to
it.
move on to the next topic.
Yeah. All right. Well, you want to lead off into the next topic?
Wow,
Ellie?
someone doesn't like Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
I mean,
no, I love Lord of the Rings. I'm a massive fan of Lord of the Rings. I'm just not a massive fan of a Gollum game.
Are we talking about the same thing, Ali?
Yeah. I love a ring me. But yeah, Square Enix. Talking of dirty rings, Square Enix, PlayStation offered a better deal than Xbox for Final Fantasy 16. So I don't know if you've seen this guy, this drop in the news recently. Square Enix come out and just openly admitted that PlayStation offered more money for Final Fantasy game than Xbox did. So that's why PlayStation got the deal. So it's got nothing to do, as we said ages ago, that it's just because PlayStation sold more consoles, yada yada yada. It's just PlayStation offered more money. But my question is really, is that the case, or are they going to Xbox and PlayStation saying, look, give us this much money, and we'll make the game exclusive? And are they going to Xbox, do you imagine, and saying and asking for more money? Do you think, or do you think they're going to them equally? Or they're giving it equal deals, or how do you think these deals actually go through? That's my question.
It's a different situation for Xbox in that they're not just offering to have the game exclusive on their platform. If they have a game that is exclusive to them, they need to offer it on Game Pass as well. So they're not necessarily going to get the money from the sales of that game like PlayStation would. So they need to see if really they would have a decent return on the game. So I can kind of understand why they wouldn't offer as much money as Sony. They wouldn't get the initial return that Sony would from having a game exclusive.
But I don't
I
think
understand
Does
that,
that
but
make sense?
I've got to come back from that. I understand that because I've seen a few people say, except that I don't think Xbox, or they wouldn't be clever to actually do that. I think what Xbox would probably do was say, look, we'll give you money, but the game won't be exclusive. You can still release it on PlayStation, so you still get your sales, but we want it day one in Game Pass.
But we want it on Game Pass. That would
Day
be
one.
quite clever. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree with that. I think that would be a smart move.
And yeah, that's what I would imagine if there was that option, or if it was reasonable. Xbox
Yeah,
would
and
have
I
offered
imagine
that.
that'll
I
be
can't
what
see why
they'll do
Square
with
Enix.
Call of Duty if this deal goes through. It'll be, yeah,
Yeah.
it's available everywhere, but you can get it on Game Pass. So why
Yeah.
wouldn't you do that?
Why would Square Enix turn that down? Because it's then they can still get the money from get the revenue from Game Pass and the revenue from PlayStation. There'd be no reason to turn it down. So I can't see why Xbox would go, no, we want it exclusive. I don't know. I don't know why.
I don't think for this style of game, Xbox would have wanted it exclusive. They wanted a piece of the pie to make it multi-plat. But you know that
Exactly.
PlayStation would have paid more to make sure that wasn't a possibility.
Keep it
And they
completely.
would have money hatted it in that respect. And so Square Enix were like, yeah, we're happy to make this an exclusive. It'll eventually come to PC, but we're gonna keep it off Xbox. And we're also gonna make sure that it can't come to Game Pass.
So do you think that's how the deal went? Do you think they went and PlayStation went, look, we're going to offer you more money because we want it completely exclusive, whereas Xbox went, we don't want it completely exclusive, so we're going to offer less money, and they just went with the more money. So they just went with the
I
greed.
don't think it's even just down to more money. I think there's something going on behind the scenes here.
With Square
Yeah,
Enix and
I think-
PlayStation.
Square Enix and PlayStation, yeah, because Square Enix have made a pretty clear, they've put out a pretty clear message that they're not interested in putting their games on Xbox, and they've done that with previous games
Yeah, they have.
of late. So I just think there's more to this than we are privy to, than just money.
Yeah, I also think that Xbox is pretty analytical, like Microsoft. So they're probably looking, because we've got some Final Fantasy games in Game Pass, so they're probably seeing engagement from that as well, and gone, you know what, it's not going to be worth it because we're not going to get the return that we need to get from it. And Final Fantasy is more synonymous with PlayStation anyway. So it's
Yeah.
like, you guys have it, whatever. No big deal. I've never played a Final Fantasy game, never will, so I couldn't give two Fs about it.
It's not my cup of tea.
If you're
either.
passionate about that game series, you would already own a PlayStation, wouldn't
PlayStation,
you?
most
So
likely,
is
yeah.
it really going to bring in extra people? I don't think so.
No.
It's not worth it for them.
But saying that, they said the same about Persona. Persona come to Game Pass and was a massive success, and the developers sort of thanked sort of Game Pass, and they said it was a massive success. They
Didn't
see
it come to Game Pass a couple of years later though, or a year later?
Oh yeah, it did, yeah.
So I mean,
But people were saying the same old story, weren't they? Oh, it never succeeded on Xbox. Xbox gamers don't buy JRPGs, and the same old story. And then it did go to Game Pass, and it was a massive success. The developers sort of were thankful, and they see a boost in sales as well, don't they? So Yeah, so I think it can happen.
I don't know, but I feel like Persona versus Final Fantasy games, they're different though. So I feel like
yeah, they are different style of games.
yes, so maybe that is
Yeah. I mean, I don't enjoy the Persona games too much, but I can see myself liking Persona more than Final Fantasy. Final Fantasies, I just look at them and I think it looks awful. I can't even get my head around it. It's just awful. Yeah. And they're all the same. They just you see each game. And what is it like? It's 16 of them now. And every time you watch them, they just look like the same game.
same art style,
Just
same
the
game.
graphics
Yeah.
improve. Yeah, same style, everything. It's like 16 of them, and you're thinking, fucking hell.
Yeah, they're not
Like,
mine.
How
I've
did
never
it?
played
How
them.
did it get past 2?
Yeah, how can you just be hyped? Like for 16 of these games.
Don't know.
16 games.
Like other thing says in the chat, Square has been on Sony's side for decades.
Yep.
Xbox
Yeah.
told Square to keep their game.
Yeah, your shit.
Probably. I wouldn't be surprised. There's no
Yeah.
love lost between Square and Xbox.
Nope.
I said, throw your shit in the bin with Last of Us factions. Oh, boy, boy.
I said this on
guys.
Twitter, right? I think there's been some like messy party. Someone at Xbox has slept with someone at Square Enix, and we are living the results of that. Something's going on behind the scenes here.
Don
You heard it
Metric.
here
It was
first.
Don
and Jim,
Metric.
we
Yeah.
did the truth.
Yeah, this is a reveal. Someone's getting revenge. There was a one
Yeah.
night stand that went wrong
Don Metric. I told
at
you.
a PR event.
Don Metric.
Yeah.
He knobbed. Who did he knob?
Knobbed.
Who didn't he know?
He knobbed everyone.
He
He knobbed
knobbed-
everyone except Square Enix. That's why they're upset.
He knobbed the Xbox One for sure.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, TV,
Nope,
TV,
nope, nope.
TV, TV.
No.
Yeah. Ironically, now Sony are pushing TV, but that's okay.
No,
It's
they're
Jesus.
pushing cinema.
Yeah,
They're pushing cinema,
and TV series.
where you don't even have to have interactive games. You just watch a movie.
And Jeff's added a thing into the Game Awards, isn't he? A category specifically for Sony, their games.
Yeah, probably.
TV series.
Um,
But anyway, no, he has. He did, didn't he? Best TV series. But anyway, should we move on to the next topic?
Yeah.
Anyone else got anything
Really
more to say on Final Fantasy?
We're going to
16?
speed
I'm sure-
through these because we really want to get to the last topic,
Yeah,
don't we?
dirty stuff.
We want to get
So
to the
what-
juice.
I'm sure we'll go through this topic again next year when Final Fantasy 17 comes out. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right, Embracer. We're talking about Embracer. Hello. There's oh, fucking give me cookies. So Embracer. Oh, what the fuck? These fucking cookies are messing up my computer.
What computer? We all know you're running it off some like random
Tablet.
Pro
radio
Look at that
device.
Surface Pro thing, yeah. Yeah. You know, it's a Kotoku. Right. What it looks like when a $2 billion gaming deal collapses overnight. Embracer's stock plummets after mystery company pulls out of massive game development partnership. They'd be the Gollum company, wouldn't they? The game absolutely collapsed and the Embracer stock lost. Someone's pulled out of Embracer Group and they've lost $2 billion.
Yeah, their stock went
apparently overnight.
down.
And we were just talking about Embracer as well.
Yeah.
I know.
The timing is impeccable.
Stock down.
It's good to see our panel pays attention. to what's
Yeah,
going on.
yeah.
I know.
The
You
stock
see
went
that,
down
Ashtray?
40%.
That's massive. Time to go buy some Embracer stocks now.
Yep.
Yeah.
It'll go back up.
Buy the dip. Buy the dip.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what she said. So it's interesting that it says mystery.
They haven't
company,
announced
because-
they've refused to announce the company that pulled out.
Yeah. So I'd like everyone to surmise and guess in the chat and on the panel. Who do you think it might have been? I mean, in 2 billion.
No
It's
idea.
Elite. He keeps telling me his pull-out game is tight.
What he tells you and what actually is true are two different
Yeah, oh,
things.
that's true. Mm.
Who are they? I will send pictures.
Elite's being really
Right.
quiet.
Yeah, no, I was just reading because I was reading. Right,
You can
I was actually
read.
reading. We probably should have read this first before our last subject. Yeah, it says here that
Hey,
they,
you're the
they're
fucking
working-
host.
the rings. I don't pick the topics down. That was red. Lazy cat.
Elite's the host.
You started this.
Well, it's on his channel.
Yeah.
So it's his show.
We all know Red's the real host.
Yeah, Ashtray and I, we co-host, yeah.
It's quite recently acquiring the gaming studios behind Deus Ex,
Deus
Ex.
Ex.
Deus Ex, yeah, at a bargain. I'm doing it on the French. That's the French version.
Douchex.
Douchex.
And Tomb Raider at a bargain. It says.
That sounds like
Dead
DLC
Island-
coming to Conan.
I didn't realise it got Dead Island 2 as well. And Lord of the Rings. They've got a load of top titles, haven't they, Embracer? Monopoly. Yeah, amazing.
Yep. What's your point?
Do they own
you-
Dead
Oth-
Island
Other,
2?
other Zinc is
Well.
saying that it was Sony who pulled out after the COD deal. They're trying to save money.
Sony's only worth $2 billion.
Yeah.
Jesus. Okay.
Yeah. So I was just reading stuff in
What,
general.
Sony pulled out? Interesting.
That's
No.
another story.
I think this is kind of just disappointing though. Like, Embracer Group has been doing the right thing around getting all these smaller studios, all these IPs, and this will impact not just money that they're putting into developers and such to push up hopefully decent games. I say that Golem game, but it's just kind of sad that this will probably impact them in the long run for a little while. Hopefully they can get back on track. Yeah.
I think the mistake they've made, which is what Sony's making, is that when you buy so many of these little studios, but then you have to drip feed all of their money, obviously, to make games, and then they probably don't have enough funding to make a decent game, or well, it's probably it. And I think it's the case of where you're drip feeding all these companies loads of this money, but none of the quality of the games those little companies are making is bringing in that revenue back. So then they have to end up just sort of cancelling them. And I think that's how we're getting Sony at the moment, where Sony have
And your name's attached to them,
close
and your
studio.
name's on the line,
yeah,
which is what we've seen
exactly,
with Xbox and Arcane.
Well,
yeah.
Knights of
Exactly.
the
And I
Old
think-
Republic KOTOR by Aspire, that was something that
Which is
they
dead now, isn't it?
yeah, they'd bought the studio for $450 million in 2021, and that's been in trouble. Isn't that looking like it might be changing developer as well at this point? But that might even become the new Scalebound, who knows? So they've been pumping a lot of money into these things, but whoever ghosted Embracer Group has really, really left them in the lurch, financially speaking, for them. Yeah, damn.
Be interesting to find out who it is.
Because Embracer
It's a
Group,
big developer.
yeah, Embracer Group, when you look at it, they aren't big like some of the other publishers out there. They've
No,
been
there's some well-known games, but nothing blockbuster level.
yeah, like they've got the IPs for Tomb
got
Raider
Tomb
and
Raider.
such. That was
And they
because
sold out
of
for that.
so they bought Eidos Montreal and what was it? Oh my god,
That was last
Crystal
year,
Dynamics and such. Yeah. So they've got them, and we know that those.
I mean, who's
those
got
guys,
$2 billion to spend on an acquisition like this? Is the question.
No, who was worth $2 billion?
that pulled out?
Mm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
No
the
idea.
only one I can. So Lord.
But they're saying that some other companies might come in and fit the bill, or help
Crystal
jump
Crystal
into
Dynamics is them, is it? Who owns Crystal Dynamics now?
Embracer.
So it's them. Oh, but it could be them then. Do you think they're worth $2 billion? Or was that too
Embracer.
much for
No,
Crystal?
Crystal Dynamics wouldn't have pulled out of that. No.
Well, why not? I mean, it was last year though, so I thought that deal was done.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
were done, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah, so they can't pull out if it's signed off.
It was Google,
Yeah.
guys. Just admit it. It was Google.
Google.
Yeah.
Can't think who. It must have been a new purchase, but I can't think who else would be in the running for $2 billion.
Who knows? It
it'd
might
have to be
come to fruition.
It'd have to
a
be
little
someone
bit
bent,
later.
Bungie level, wouldn't it? It'd be someone like, I don't know, maybe Square Enix or someone like that pulled out. Probably buy someone like
It could be Google just before Stadia, crashed and burned.
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Mm.
next
Interesting.
topic.
Well,
Yeah, next.
just
Come
just
on.
real quick. So before
Let's
we
go.
go through, Jeff Keighley had a thing over a year ago, on the big game companies that could be acquired, and here's a list of market caps, right? And the lowest is Sega at 3.6 billion. So it's got to be something less than that again.
Well, I mean, that doesn't say that the
Yeah.
company's worth that. It just says that the deal was pulled like worth the 2 billion, right?
Well, yeah, but what do? They acquire companies. That's
Yeah.
mainly what they do. Is they
Yeah, but like you
it's
can say
acquisitions.
you could say like
You meant
Oh.
like a joint a partnership or something?
no, but you could say like say if someone tried to buy Nintendo might only be worth so much. However, if you went to go purchase them, you'd have to pay more than that. So
True.
so they'd have to be less than 2 billion, and based on your shared size.
Yep.
Who knows? Very interesting.
Because I just don't see them doing a deal where it's working together, because they haven't done any of that in the past that I'm aware of. It's always been acquisitions.
But it's just
So-
sad because I like Embracer Group. I think they've been doing a good job around kind of grabbing those smaller titles, putting them in there, and then bringing stuff back.
They've got a decent back catalogue, haven't they?
Yeah,
of
'cause they
games,
brought,
quite
like,
varied.
THQ Nordic, didn't they? And then as a result, we got the Kingdoms of Amalur Re-Reckoning, so we might actually get a sequel to that game because they re-brought the IP
That's
back.
in my backlog, that is.
Yeah, they brought the IP back as a result of purchasing THQ, and they got that IP as a result. So they've been doing a good job in that respect. But it's just whatever's happened, why they pulled out, yeah. And because the deal's
Dunno.
not that, I guess, big when we're looking at ABK deal kind of just bombarding the news, you're not really seeing some of the smaller stuff happening so much. So this seems to have quite clearly gone under the radar. Yeah. Very concerning, though.
Well, it's only a matter of time until we find out who it was
Yep.
and what kind of impact that means for the rest of the industry, etc.
Elite's really quiet. Come on, Elite, just admit it was you.
Yeah. No, I was thinking it could be someone like it probably could be someone like Square Enix or Capcom. I think Jedi mentions Capcom possibly. Someone like that. That's about it. That 2 billion purchase, isn't they?
No, Capcom's their market
She's
cap
bigger.
is 4.9.
So you'd have to
right,
spend
okay.
more than 4.9 billion to acquire them.
Yeah. What did he write down? What Square Enix was?
5.6 billion.
Really? Square Enix? I would never pay that for them. What have they made decent in the past? 10
Games that
years?
you don't play is what they've made. Yeah.
Go on, then, what games of theirs have you played then in the
Well,
past 10 years?
before Square gave up, what was it?
Avengers?
Eidos Montreal and Crystal Dynamics. I'd played like the Tomb Raider. I'd played Guardians of the Galaxy games. I'd played some of the other games that they have done, but I haven't really played anything that's Square specifically that has
Exactly.
Square's name in the studio title. I haven't really played
they're
much
shite.
of theirs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's because they're crap. I think they're way overrated developer. Massively overrated.
Yeah, but you're looking at it from your perspective. There are plenty of people who think that developer is in line with their expectations.
You played Conan, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I can tell you now, it's better than Final Fantasy.
Oh,
Have you-
I don't actually disagree with you on that.
There we go.
No, funnily enough,
Someone
I
has
actually
Conan.
played Conan Exiles and really, really enjoyed it when it first launched. It crashed a lot, and I kept
Don't tell Elite
losing
that.
my stuff.
Shh.
No, honestly, I thought it was
game.
No, it was really good. It was really, really good. But I kept
good fun.
losing my stuff, and it was like soul destroying. You'd build up all these items, build your
Yeah.
bloody settlement, and have all these slaves, and then you'd log in, and they were all gone. So I just got pissed off and stopped playing
Yeah,
it. So
screw
I'm
that.
assuming it's approved now, but there's much better games to play, so
Well,
I've never gone back to it.
I mean, Elite's
But I can
still playing
understand
it,
why it's
so
addictive.
has it improved?
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Well,
Yeah.
we know Elite doesn't really play games, so does it really count as a game?
Yeah.
This game, and I'm actually at war with the French. It was in chat earlier. BBX, we're at war with the French
Oui,
at the
oui.
moment, so yeah, oui, poo poo.
Elite,
Oh,
Elite, are you gonna play? Are you gonna play Diablo?
Yeah, you're gonna play Diablo Elite?
Yeah, Elite.
Oh yeah, I will play Diablo actually, because it's my play game. I will play that. I like co-ops game.
will.
I like play games. So, yeah, most defo play Diablo.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll
If we
probably
can
play
all
next
get on
game.
at the same,
Copy
if we
that.
can all get on at the same time, I'd be down for partying up.
Yeah.
Yeah. We can just
well,
mute,
It's just a
mute
case of
Elite
time zones, really.
Mute Elite in the party chat. Yeah.
His headset doesn't even work properly.
I'm using a phone headset now.
Yeah, just buy one, man.
Yeah,
Come on.
I get one.
Come on.
You do a podcast every week and you're using a phone headset.
No, not now. No,
That's
no,
because
I've
he's
got
a phony.
I've got a proper headset. I've got a
Red,
Do you not
see
take this
yourself out.
seriously, Elite?
I've got a proper
I'm
headset.
sorry,
Like a
Ashtray.
proper headset. It doesn't have a mic because it's a proper headset.
Elite, I will send you a headset I like giving to charity.
Can we just give him the new PlayStation earbuds?
Yeah.
The exclusive PlayStation earbuds.
Jen's got the PlayStation ones.
Oh.
Exclusive.
Okay. All right. Well,
Right.
time to embrace the next topic, guys.
Oh shit, Red.
I know.
That you redeemed yourself.
I know. Once in my lifetime, I redeemed myself. If you,
That
What
was-
a transition. What a transition.
I still think the best one was last week when I said, "Speaking of trash."
If you've kind of seen this, you may have seen
shit.
it. Naughty Dog has announced that they're working on a brand new single player experience, while they're also working on The Last of Us Factions multiplayer.
While they're not working it.
Yeah, so their team is divided, working on two different projects at once. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, they should really be focusing on a multiplayer game that was due out in like 2020.
2019 it was announced. Okay.
2019, jeez.
It was
Yeah.
it was announced 2019, but I think when the game launched in 2020, for The Last of Us Part 2, they were like, watch this space type thing. It's not going to be available at launch or anything like that, and that gives implies that you probably won't be waiting too long if it's not available at launch. Maybe 6 months later, a year later max, but it's been 3 years. And then there has been some new news that has come to light about apparently Bungie, the Destiny 2 developer, has basically looked at the game and evaluated the game, and they raised some concerns about it, which has meant that Naughty Dog has gone back to reassess the game and rework on it some more. So we're probably not seeing this anytime soon. They even announced that we're not going to be looking at hearing about the Last of Us multiplayer game, so Factions, at the moment while they continue to work on it. They need more time with the game. Doesn't bode well. What are your guys' thoughts?
I mean,
Silence.
no, it's one of that, right? I
Give it,
want to
Jen.
care, but I don't. I've never played Last of Us, right? And I know it's meant to be an incredible game. I massively enjoyed the TV series, but I find it hard to believe, are there really people that 3 years later that are really desperate for a multiplayer for this game? Because as far as I was concerned, it was a very visceral solo experience. You know, you're playing through the stories of those characters. Why is there even demand for a multiplayer? That is the bit I don't understand, and I'm
They had
sure
none,
you
they
guys will
cancelled
probably
all.
explain to me.
Apparently, with
Yeah,
the first
where is that coming
game,
from?
with the first game, Last of Us multiplayer, like the factions there, people really enjoyed it, and I don't understand why they overly enjoyed it. It reminded me of a whole heap of other studios and IP that had just tacked on a multiplayer for the sake of putting a multiplayer on. Like, I think Tomb
It's
Raider
very
did it
generic.
once, Assassin's Creed
To
did
me,
it.
it's like would you want a multiplayer in The Witcher? Like, no. Because you're playing through Geralt's story. So I just don't understand the need for this in the first place, let alone it being like a controversy that they haven't released one in years. Like, really? Is there not anything else you guys can play?
Well, I think basically
It's just-
the if people, I mean, there's so many good multiplayer games out there that unless they do it right, they shouldn't be doing it at all.
Yeah.
That's just my thought. That's just reality. Ashtray, what are your thoughts?
It's a really good thought.
Yeah.
Well, look, yeah, you're right. So there was a multiplayer game part of the first one. back when it was released on the PlayStation 3. Look, I've played The Last of Us, and it's okay. It's good. It's not as good as what they all make it out to be. I can tell you that now. Massively overrated game. But the fact that they were going to release factions with the remaster and then decided to make it a separate game altogether, and then what did you say, Elite announcing it back in 2019 and still nothing to show for it, there's problems. There's definitely problems there because they've only been releasing remasters and remakes and a dodgy PC port, which they did most of the work on. So what the hell's happening in that studio? Neil Druckmann needs to go for starters. That guy's out of touch with reality and can't run a studio. And they only put this out on Twitter, which basically, if you read it, that statement basically has no substance to it whatsoever. It's like almost they haven't even started the damn game.
Well,
So, it doesn't give any dates. It doesn't give any substance to anything. Apparently, it was put out so they could preempt the article coming out, which came out within probably minutes of that tweet. So they were just trying to damage control.
Because they probably
the fact
got
that there was an article.
harassed the hell out of as where was this game? Why wasn't it at your showcase? And then somehow people have put it in their minds that this is probably going to be showing up at Jeff Keighley's summer game show, whatever thing. Like, no, it's not. You're not going to see it this year at all.
Probably not going to see it for a few years.
Yeah.
In all seriousness. It doesn't sound like much work's been done at all, or it's like broken as hell.
Or it's going to get tacked on to like The Last of Us Part 3.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think it's clear that's the other game they're working on, isn't it? Like, is it? I thought
idea.
There was a mention, like I was doing the work Last of Us Part 3. I'm sure I heard they've already confirmed that. I'm looking up my phone, god dang diddly. I'm sure they mentioned it. I'm gonna look it up.
How many devs do they have in the team over at Naughty Dog? Does anyone know? I saw on the internet it said 2,000, but I don't know if that's true. That sounds a little high.
The team?
Yeah. How many developers work at Naughty Dog? If anyone knows in the chat, let us know. But look, at the end of the day, they've brought out basically, they're a one-trick pony. They've brought out one game realistically, or two games, because part 2. And then just a bunch of rehashes and remakes. And then they want to do this factions. Now, we know that if you bring out a multiplayer game that doesn't have any content, it doesn't have any, skins and content to keep people enthralled and come back, it's not going to last long. And PlayStation games aren't known for their multiplayer games, not as much as the Xbox is. So they need to drop this game. They need to drop it with heaps of content, and they need to really push it. But I can't see that happening.
One of the statements that, if this is true, Bungie kind of said that there's not enough engagement to keep people there for long term. You need to really, I guess it's probably the gameplay loop isn't enough to keep people engaged based on what everyone else is doing, maybe. But I just looked and they said as of 2020 they had over 2,000 developers working at Naughty Dog. That has probably changed since then because we've seen layoffs and changes and everything within the industry all up. Yeah.
2,000, and they're split between two games, a multiplayer game and a first party, probably single player game. Yeah. So that's 1,000 people per team. They probably need more than that, especially just to focus on a multiplayer game. If they're going to have content, that is, they could probably release it without content and have 1,000 people working on it, but it doesn't sound like that's going to be enough.
How many devs are at Bungie? Over 3,000?
Something like that. Yeah, it was 2,000 or 3,000, but that's just one game. They're
working on one game, right? Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I think RDX, the guy said that Roblox has 3 or 4. So.
Roblox, holy crap.
Yeah, Roblox. Fortnite's got heaps as well, but they're bringing out content all the time.
And you look at what they do.
Even Minecraft have heaps of content that comes out if you go to their store.
You look at what ABK is I guess
Delete Elite.
For COD, they have their different studios working on different games so they can release regularly, and then they have all the other studios, support studios with those developers coming in to make sure that those games release on time, to make sure that they have enough content being pushed out. Like, those live service games take so much time, energy, and money that you really need to be all in to do that. And Bungie is just, hope if that's true, is giving them a dose of reality and resetting clear expectations about what needs to be done. So they need to be all in on this game, or just don't release it and just cut your losses.
So this single player game, do you think it's going to be a sequel, or do you think they're actually coming out with a new IP?
No, it's hard to say. They'll probably call it a new
or
IP.
is it going to be a remake or a remaster, which they still consider another game, don't they?
Well, I think they're
And
not wanting to
still
do
like
any
it,
more
remake
Uncharted at this point. So I feel like it might be a new IP, because they might be wanting to put a bit more time and distance between people's reactions to The Last of Us 2.
Yeah.
Who knows?
But the factions, as far as that's going, I think this is well. If it happens, I don't think it'll be till 2025. I don't think.
Yeah, probably.
I think it's completely on a sort of hold or freeze.
Marathon will come out before this one.
Yeah, they're just redoing the whole thing, which is like, it's a massive fuck up, really. And I'm shocked the media's not jumping on this more, because we know this is Xbox. Yeah, I know. But if this is Xbox, we know it's like, because Sony doesn't have any multiplayer games. That's why they've got Bungie now, just to cover that aspect, because they can't make them themselves. None of their top quality studios can make just a simple multiplayer game. And like the top quality one tried to and failed miserably, and just seems to be giving up on it.
That's because they've
And yet
cultivated.
343 gets loads of hate for managing a campaign and a multiplayer side by side, and like that, Sony just got no studio that can do that. Not even Bungie really can do that. I mean, Destiny's not really got a top quality campaign, is it? The campaign on it's just sort of pretty average, isn't it? It's really just based around the shooter looter. It's got the PvP on, actually. Destiny's awful. You played the PvP on it? It's absolutely terrible.
I actually really enjoyed Destiny as a game, but I couldn't follow the campaign for love and money.
No,
it was just so all over the place. Yeah, it was ridiculous.
The campaign's very dry, very dull. And same as the PvP. The PvP is awful. Everyone just plays it really for the co-op looter shooter aspect of it. You know?
And raids.
We just
I
run
love
around
raids.
killing, the raids. I mean, killing stuff as a group, getting loot, and then just improving on loot. And that's what it is, just a looter shooter, basically. So I don't.
I actually hated the raids. Has anyone actually played the raids in Destiny?
Yes.
I did on Destiny 1.
I did on Destiny 1. I didn't play any on Destiny 2. My favourite was Vault of Glass, VOG. That was so much fun.
So I enjoyed the game, but when it actually came to doing raids with my clan, like if you fucked up at any point, it would reset the raid for everybody, and it just makes you feel like crap. I don't play games
the
to feel
Gorgon
like crap.
space. If a Gorgon spotted you had to restart that section again, and it was all about...
like, no, I'm all about the fun, not like feeling like I'm a shit gamer, and that's how Destiny kind of made me feel. So I backed out of that completely.
You shouldn't play MMOs then.
Pete goes, anyone think the apologies of Naughty Dog or the Golden developers mean anything? It's a bit of a joke. I think as a whole, from what you're saying there, Pete, we're getting these apologies from developers left, right, and centre, and it does start to feel like the joke is on us as gamers.
No, you got to blame the gamers though, to be honest, because all we see on Twitter all day long, and they do sort of CC in the developers and stuff, saying when's this game coming out, do better, and I think they put developers under a lot of pressure continuously. They continuously
sending dick pics or release dates,
and stuff, and it's continuous pressure every day. You get PlayStation guys going to Xbox guys saying, we want to see this, we want to see gameplay, we want this. When the next show comes up, we expect this, and this, and then vice versa. And I think developers are probably put under so much pressure that feel like, we better just slap some gameplay together and just show it. And I think that's what happens, I think. And I think it's just too much now. I think compared to the old days, everything has to be AAA. That's the other thing as well. Everything has to be
everyone's
top
impatient.
Quality.
Expectations are really high.
Yeah. Which we get from the PlayStation side a lot, don't we? Every game now has to be story-driven, AAA, graphical masterpiece, showpiece.
Yeah, but you look at the messaging from Sony on that front.
Yeah, they do push that message, which then backfires on them massively.
Yeah.
But factions, I don't think it's gonna be for a while, and I think it's sad because Sony just can't fucking put a multiplayer game together, and they've been pushing gas games and stuff like that, and that probably would have been their biggest gas game. You know, the game, the name would have carried that alone, and they've just fucked it up.
Yeah,
You know,
people it would have scored well, but the longevity behind it would have been not great.
Everyone clowns Halo. We've just seen failed at Last of Us, but there's no message to it.
The fact that the article says that the team has been scaled back after a review could even put the game in jeopardy itself. It might not ever release.
Yeah.
So,
or they just tack it on to another game that they're working on.
And call it something else.
Yeah, who knows? It's a lot, though. If a studio who's never made a multiplayer game like that as a standalone, rather than just tacking it on to another game, is a lot to ask of them, and there's a lot of pitfalls that you're going to fall into and such. So having Bungie there to kind of sense check is going to be a saving grace to some degree for PlayStation, but it's just not ideal.
Elite.
Oh my gosh, Elite. As soon as you said that, I looked to the chat. Of course Elite says that. Wasn't that what you were doing before the show started, Elite?
Look, there we go.
Oh, man.
No wonder Jen never wants to be a guest on the show, right? Ashtray and I have to beg and beg and beg. All right, well,
It's true though.
just want to make a quick shout out to all those watching live. We've got Jen and I, Peter, Boba Fett, Other Zinc. I think Risket showed up at once. Fuck you, Umbra's around. Just to everyone
The
who
blue one was here
the
earlier.
blue one was here earlier. To everyone who's just hanging around.
Sexy voice Umbra's here.
Yeah, Prosciutto was in at one
Prosciutto,
point.
Other Zinky Poos.
Hit that like button, share it out. We're about to get into
Monad.
our last topic.
Jen didn't chat.
Yeah, we're about to get into our last topic, which is the Sony PlayStation E3 showcase blowout extravaganza bar setting showcase that, you know, I had already put my Xbox Series X on sale at the beginning of the showcase, and I had to pull it down 10 minutes in. I was like, I can't sell my console after just, you know.
I think that what the good that comes from this, obviously, is there'll be a massive surge in Xbox sales from all the people that sold their Xboxes and have to now rebuy them. Just a massive spike in Xbox sales. Quick, fucking buy them. Why? Because they're actually fucking releasing games. Because Sony have just given up. They've stopped. We don't need to sell games anymore. You gonna work on any more games? Yes, Spider-Man. Here's some gameplay. Is that Spider-Man 2018? No, it's not Spider-Man 2018. It's honestly, it's a new Spider-Man. Oh, okay. It looks like Spider-Man 2018. No. No, seriously. Should we get into this then?
We already have.
And get into it.
I'm back. I have two poos.
Yeah, two massive ones. Massive stinkers. They were like massive. They were like got caught
Anyway.
in the anyway.
Oh my God.
Can we not talk about that, Ben?
Yeah.
Oh. Anyway.
She sent me pics.
Fuck's sakes.
But,
Let's get into this. Okay.
Where do we start with this? Should we start with the list you've got?
Well, I'd like to say thank you to PlayStation for a great Xbox showcase. Appreciate it.
Woo!
Oh boy!
Now go.
And everyone, please avert your eyes. Or actually, avert your eyes away from the screen because now we're going to show the PlayStation showcase. So for those that don't want to see it and don't want to just drop off to sleep,
I have included the subtitles for those because there's going to be no sound except us. But yeah.
And bear in mind the show would be half the length if they took out all the advertisements of themselves, because they continuously show the PlayStation logo throughout it and the X and things. They continuously do that.
Doesn't that remind
So
you of the
if they do that-
showcase where they showed off the PlayStation 5 and made that first announcement?
Yeah, and they kept showing the PlayStation 5 in different angles and weird things, and then it went on, and they just overkilled it, and it was like awful.
So I guess I'm really interested in what score you gave it, Red.
You want, yeah.
Yeah, what'd you give it, Yvonne?
Yeah, Red. What did you give it?
Yeah, what'd you give it, Red?
I feel like
you really
Ashtrey's just
listen up,
throwing me
Yvonne.
on the bus right now. Okay.
Mhm.
I tried to take my Xbox hat off when I was watching this and look at this from a unbiased perspective. I gave it a 6.5 out of 10.
What did you originally give it? At the
I-
start?
Okay,
Yeah,
so
like
when it started out, we had like Haven Studios, we had Helldivers, we had the Immortals of Avium,
What'd
and
you
then
give it,
Ghost
Red?
Runner 2. I was initially going, it's starting out like an 8, like it's gonna, like in the sense of it's gonna ramp
Sounds
up
like-
and it's gonna be a solid 8 by the end of it. It's gonna
shocking.
stay consistent. Then we'll have a couple of games which we're not gonna care about, and
you score it, Red?
then not far after that, things started to really stagnate and get worse and worse, and I was like clock watching. I was bored. I didn't watch it live because I was working at the time. I started at 8 a.m. and that's when the show started. And then it just kept getting worse and worse. The only reason why it gets a 6.5 out of 10 for me is because of all the third-party games that I know are coming to Xbox. I'm excited for those.
So,
Sorry, what?
I was going to say, so in a way, Red gave it 8 out of 10.
Bloody hell did not. I expected, I guess, PlayStation 2
Started on 8 out of 10.
I expected them to be a solid 8 out of 10. I feel like that's what it should have been. And Sony, after
Foxy
18...
Gamers told her to say give it 8 out of 10.
Yeah. Well, I was going to sell my Xbox. But I was just very disappointed after 18 months, almost 2 years without showing anything specific, to then deliver that. If you are just a gamer in general, it wasn't a bad showcase. If you were a PlayStation gamer expecting PlayStation games to be there, it was a terrible showcase for you. Absolutely terrible. We talked about this, everyone was saying like this is like an Xbox showcase. Yes, PlayStation needs to diversify, but they also need to give you a reason to show up. Like, what games are coming in the future for them? Wolverine? Obviously Spider-Man, we knew that, but like Wolverine is the only other one I can think of. Factions we don't know about.
Factions.
But there's not a lot that they've announced in the coming years. So it didn't, I guess, offer a lot of confidence or entice me as an Xbox gamer to go out and buy a PlayStation. The amount of games where they didn't give a single date, the amount of games where they just gave a release window of 2023, holy crap, more than 50% of the show was like that. Ridiculous. Yeah. To not even give a proper date for Spider-Man 2, and it's out in like there's like 6 months, 7 months left of the year.
Yeah. I thought it was out in September, but if it was, why didn't they announce that?
Exactly.
Is the question. What is going on there?
Because it's going to get delayed.
It's they've only said fall 2023. It's probably going to get delayed. I'm a bit concerned about that. They might even push it to winter of 2023. But like, I don't know. We'll get to the games, but I was just highly disappointed. There was so many CGI, so much CGI. There was like so much sort of, I guess, gameplay, little bits of gameplay trailer stuff, but nothing of actual solid gameplay where you could go, that's definitely gameplay. They basically did everything that the PlayStation gamers used to give Xbox shit for their showcases.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And some of them are outright defending the showcase. How? Some of them aren't. Some of them are absolutely giving PlayStation the owls. I mean, it's not a bad showcase when you look at it as just the games shown, but if you were there to expect PlayStation to be back to 2016 when they were just smashing things out left, right, and centre, Sean Layden is gone, guys. You have got Jim Ryan, and you can see it.
He's got to go. He's got to go. He's hopeless. He's done nothing but Don Matrick the whole PlayStation.
Jim Ryan looked like if I sent my granddad on to do a PlayStation showcase. That man has never touched a game in his life.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, the closest he's got to a game is playing with a Tamagotchi. I don't care what anybody says.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was absolutely cringe. Do you know when you get like developers go on and talk about their games and it's like, yeah, they look a bit like serial killers. Like they are not meant for show business.
Yes.
That's what Jim Ryan's like. This man should not be like let out to the public.
Oh, and like the other, what was that quote that he made about how they'd been listening to their fans, about like
shit.
I was like, you don't even listen to anything. Like you never talk to your fans. Like when have you gone on to a podcast or done anything where you've actually engaged with your fans and listened to what they want? Yes, the 3 years is exactly what they want, but games coming to PC. I don't know. It's just, what were your thoughts? What did you guys rate out of 10 the showcase yourselves?
1.5.
1.5. Okay, that's fair. That's very fair. That's a bit generous there, Ashtray.
Well, it wasn't a PlayStation showcase. It was a showcase.
It was like a Summer of Game Fest showcase with
kind
third
of thing
parties.
you'd have it. Yeah, if it was Gamescom, then this is what you'd show. But this is a PlayStation showcase, and they only showed one PlayStation. Actually, we've got a list of. It's a shame you can't put this list up on screen. It's a shame that because
Technically, she could.
I could.
Oh, if she was clever enough.
Clever enough. Elite, could you even set it up to put the YouTube video up?
Yeah, next week. You know what? Fuck it. He can run it.
You
from
can
his
run it,
computer.
Elite. And you want to throw shade? Go for it.
I'm not clever enough. But you are.
I am. I
conceded
could do it,
quickly.
but I'm not
He
going to be
conceded
doing
quickly.
it. Yeah.
That wasn't a question. That was me talking Australian.
You're an idiot.
No, I was just going to say, shall we run through the games? Because
I want to hear everyone's rating, and then we can tear the games to shreds.
I'll
go through my rating. So I would say it was a 6 out of 10. What? So yeah, a 6 because right it wasn't bad. It wasn't horrendous like people are making out, but it wasn't the reveals befitting of a showcase that we would expect. If that was a direct, I would say it was great.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. It was a showcase. We've been waiting 2 years for this, and that is all they had to offer.
And they went first.
They went first. I said, right, on Riskit's podcast last week that PlayStation must have some pretty like big dick energy to go first. And it would be banger after banger after banger. And that is the kind of like impression we were getting from people that say they're insiders on Twitter that, oh, you know, it's going to be like a fire showcase. They're going to, you know, there's going to be all these reveals. And then when it actually started, it was like, okay, this is what they're opening with. I can't even remember the game that they opened with, but normally you open with a bang.
Fair
and
games.
Then work up to something even bigger.
Hey,
Yes,
Jen,
yeah.
I got a question for you.
Oh,
What did you give Xbox's showcase last year?
Yeah.
I don't remember what I gave it.
I don't even remember Xbox's showcase last year. Is that bad?
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a year.
God damn it. It
been a year.
It was the whole
I've slept-
12-month window thing.
This is why we should have Jez on the show.
Starfield, Forza Motorsports.
Yeah, you should get him in because
Redfall.
he'll remember details like this. I won't. Yeah, I don't remember. I think I remember enjoying the whole 12-month promise thing and knowing that the games that we would see would be within 12 months, but we all know how that promise came to fruition. So I'd rather not revisit that time again.
I'm assuming you would have given it like an 8 or something, right?
I would have given it an 8 or a 9 at the time, I'm sure. I would have to go through my tweets and see exactly what kind of hype I was tweeting at the time. So in a similar vein, to even remember what happened at this PlayStation showcase, I've had to go back and look at my tweets and see what I put. So my first tweet here is, my big toe has more charisma than Jim Ryan.
That's true.
Yeah. Then I've put Metal Gear, some indie title, I guess.
Your big toe.
So I know people were really excited about Metal Gear, but it's not a title that I particularly care about. I'll probably play it if it's remade, but on the other hand, it's also coming to Xbox as well. So is it really something for them to shout about? No. Next one I've put, is this Lego Craft? Grand Theft Lego? Yeah, so that particular title looks fun. Again, it's fun. It's okay. Then we had.
Let's do our scores, and we're just gonna go for each game.
Yeah, we'll go through each
And then
game.
we'll give our thoughts each game. Yeah. So
Well,
give us-
I'm having a moment here, Elite. Don't interrupt me. So
Don't mansplain to her, Elite.
Yeah. Phantom Blade
Sorry,
looks
Elite.
pretty dope, I've put, but I've since found out that that's a sequel to a mobile game, so I'm not as excited anymore. The Splatoon with bubbles. Yeah, it looked okay, but like a Nintendo game. Alan Wake, again, very excited for that, but it's an Xbox game. VR section, bored, went to have a toilet break, did 3 poos, maybe. PlayStation exclusive earbuds, yay. It wasn't great, and I'm disappointed because we want competition. Good games is good games for all of us. At the end of the day, if good games come to PlayStation, they will probably come to PC at some point, and Xbox later. So it is great for all of us, and to have a disappointing showcase is a bummer. So I'm not like reveling in the fact that Sony's showcase was a bit of a downer at all, but it is funny that they went first and they did have this so-called big dick energy, and then that's what they came out with.
Elite, what was your score? Thank you, Jen.
I've talked enough. Sorry.
We'll talk more.
All right.
Well, he gave it a 0 apparently.
No, he gave it a 10
Don't
out
be
of 10.
ridiculous. It's not a 0.
I mean, he hasn't said anything, so I'm just assuming
He's gone off for a poo, obviously. But
he's
I
probably
believe,
bored because I talked too much
I
about
believe
what
he
I
gave it a
thought.
10 out of 10 and said it was the best showcase he'd ever seen. And he's literally going to sell his Xbox for a PlayStation because it's better.
Yeah, he's
pretty sure
selling
that's what he
both
said.
of his
You know
Series
what,
S's just to get a PS5. And actually, he said he was getting a PSVR 2, but, you know, he needs a PS5 first, so, you know, poor guy.
Yeah.
Do you know, I was really excited because I thought we might see either a Bloodborne remake or Bloodborne on PC, which I would be, like, super excited
To
for.
see Ghost of Tsushima 2.
Tsushima.
Can't even send it
Yes,
today.
exactly. So I've not played that, but my boyfriend's played it and he absolutely loves that game. So I would have been excited on his behalf to see
Even if
that.
it was
And
just
then
a tease, like we are
Yeah,
working
and
on
then-
it.
And Silent Hill as well. They've got the Silent Hill franchise. Where was that? Apparently they're working on a remake. Where was it? Just show us some like little shitty CGI trailer, and I'll be happy.
Guess what?
Don't worry, guys. They're gonna
What were they
have
thinking?
another show after Xbox's E3 event, so that's when they're gonna show all the bangers.
That's what I heard. The rumor is that they're going to have them at Jeff Keighley's thing, and they're going to have first party there. Like, why would you ever do that?
Why would you save it for then?
Because of the relationship
Why?
that Jeff Keighley and oh my god, Kojima have.
Jeff Keighley can suck my invisible dick.
Hideo
I know.
Kojima.
Hideo. I was like, what is it? I just remembered Kojima. I'm bad with names, guys. It's a reality of the situation. But yeah, and I was like, those people have been snorting copium ever since the showcase to think that that is a reality. If they did that, how pissed off would that PlayStation community be if they just saved first parties for another showcase that wasn't theirs? Oh my gosh. I would be super pissed off if Xbox did that.
Yep.
Well, that's the thing though. If Xbox come out with a showcase like this, how much would they be slaughtered? But all we see is Sony fans just like, it's okay,
And the media.
you know, they're saving it all, they're holding back. Yeah,
Same
exactly.
thing.
The media are on their side as well. Again, showing their bias.
It's missing a few big titles, but it was almost nearly perfect. And I was like,
Almost nearly perfect. What a load of bollocks.
What?
Yeah,
I'm
it's stupid. It wasn't. There was a few good games there, no doubt, but not enough to make a showcase.
glad Forbes
You know,
came out and
what was the
trashed it.
finisher? Spider-Man. We already knew Spider-Man was coming. So what did that show us? And if anything, if I was a Spider-Man fan, I would be disappointed that they showed that much of a cutscene with all of those spoilers to display the game. You know, I don't want to see all of that. I want to play it for myself and see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah,
true.
I tweeted to Game
Yeah.
Rant telling them to delete their tweet because they've got some bullshit thing that Sony was holding back games for the showcase to show it some other time. And I'm like, just delete this, guys. It's like, stop it. And it is, yes, as you mentioned, Red, poor Tassie actually went in and said that it wasn't a good showcase and the reasons why, and it was actually level-headed. And that guy's a bit of a pony as well.
Yeah.
So it is actually amazing that he actually did that. I don't know why, but
IGN giving it like a 9 out of fucking 10.
IGN.
I mean,
there's no credibility there whatsoever.
even their own fan base was not giving it 9 out of 10s. Like, PlayStation fan base were not doing that. So, you know how disingenuous those scores were when those fucking news outlets are saying 9 out of 10.
That's just damage control.
Oh,
What's up, Fire Boss? Good to see you.
I
Elite,
just want to.
what was your score?
Hello, Fire Boss. Yeah, right, okay.
why'd you give it out of 10 out of 10? Elite?
Yeah, why?
Oh, yeah, because it was fantastic. It showed PlayStation first party banger game of the year, blockbuster exclusives. That's why.
That's what
And I
it should have
sold
shown.
And I sold my parents. Yeah.
He sold your parents.
PlayStation. Yeah.
Yeah.
I sold my parents and gave all the money to Sony so I could join their cult. Yeah. No, but seriously. I didn't get that much money
Admit it,
from my
you were
parents.
think like Umbra just put in the chat. IGN claimed it was S tier. We know Elite that you thought the same.
No, I'm going to get on to what Umbra's saying. I'm going to get on to that freaking biased. Freaking. And I said freaking.
Freaking.
Yeah,
He's
I'm
getting
angry now.
serious.
Jen's
Yeah,
wet now.
freaking. Yeah. That's put me off now.
That's what she said.
No, good timing, Red. See? Good work.
She's learning. She's getting good.
If only you would learn Elite. Come on. No, continue. What were you saying?
You know he's going to be quiet.
Oh, finished. Finished. Right, so so what was I? Sorry. Right, I was finished slightly. I'll give it.
Oh, shit.
I'll give it a 5 out of 10.
Oh,
I'll give it a 4. No, 4.5. I'll give it a 4.5 because I think some of the games actually did look quite good earlier on. So I don't want to sort of downplay those games because some of the games did look good. Unfortunately for Sony though, is that they were multiplats and they're also coming to Xbox. So what I'd love is Xbox actually show these same games at their showcase. That'd be brilliant, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I only give it a 4.5 because I don't want to say those games look shit. You know, I don't want to play those games because some of those games are good. If I was a PlayStation fan though, I would be well angry because one AAA exclusive and it's a game we already knew. No, nothing new and no roadmap for anything. And it's quite disconcerting, really, quite worrying that, as we've said for the past few years, Sony have got nothing planned, have they? They've got nothing in the back burner. They've been releasing remasters and remakes.
No, they're saving it for the summer
Jen,
game
if
show.
you're watching the show right now on YouTube, your favorite trailer's on right now.
I'll have a look at that.
Oh, I'm waiting.
Soap up.
Yeah.
Yes, soap up.
Almost be a sex game.
We've actually got a bit of a joke going on the Xbox 2 Discord about soap and foam, and I am Jen Foam Fantasy.
You're in Xbox Discord, are you? Oh.
I'm actually their, believe it or not, I'm their community manager.
Oh, invite us.
Could
Invite
you
us
could you manage a lead a bit better then, Jen? Sort it.
in.
No, I barely manage the Xbox 2 community. I'll pop in every now and again. It's purely title and nothing else.
Fair enough.
Before we get into games, just say anyway, I'll give it a 5. I'll give it a 4.5.
Yeah.
It did start off strong and got weaker and weaker and weaker as it went on. And
Just like you.
I did think. Yeah. I don't want to go into the games too much. We'll go through the games, but there's. I don't want. I was about to go into the games. I won't go into the games because we'll go for the list. But the worrying thing is the media. We got things like IGN give it 9 out of 10. We got who's it?
I'd give it a 9 out of 10. What are you on about?
IGN.
Oh, IGN. Jen,
Have
give it a 9 out of 10. What the
IGN.
fuck are you on?
Have another drink, Jen.
No.
Just have another sip. You'll be right.
I'm still drinking. I'm trying to calm down.
Red gave it an 8
Did
out
not
of 10,
give it a
but-
9 out of 10.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
Jing.
definitely.
Red
I definitely gave it an 8 out of 10. The only reason it got a 6.5 is because of Dragon's
6.5
Dogma
gone up.
2. Oh, I love that game so much.
But where was I? I've lost my train of thought. Yeah, no, is the media, and I don't know why this needs to be done. We got IGN giving 9s. We got who's it? Game Realm was it or
Games Radar.
Games Radar? Because usually Games Realm in it, but Games Radar saying it's the best show ever. But what I think what's worse
Tom's
is we
Guide
got the-
even said something like, "It's not that bad. Like it's
yeah, it's not
actually
that
quite
bad.
this.
Shut
Like
up, stop complaining.
stop. Yeah,
Yeah, stop complaining, everyone. It was a
ignore
really
the
good show. It
backlash
showed-
and
it
just
sh-
this game. It was good.
It showed games. That's what we want to see.
Well, we had a
But
gaming
every game show
showcase.
showed fucking games. Yeah, yeah, fucking hell. But
Fucking
yeah,
idiot.
it's I want to see that same energy now when Xbox drops games. But it showed games. What's your complaint? That's what I'm going to do. But I think the worrying thing is when you get situations like IGN, who I think I shared it with you guys, where they Xbox straight afterwards, which is genius of Xbox, where they basically took all the multiplats that PlayStation showed, and then done their own little advert saying coming to Xbox and showed all those games.
Mm.
But then IGN thought they'd crop the Xbox out of it, and then put PlayStation 5, and then promote PlayStation 5 off the back of Xbox's own advertisement. And I think, how disingenuous is that? How evil is that? Basically, that shows clear bias, really, that they feel the need for Xbox to promote the games coming to Xbox, and then IGN thinking, oh no, we're going to cut out Xbox and replace it with PlayStation 5 and promote PlayStation 5, even though on a Xbox advertisement. And then you got, who was the other ones that did the same? I think it was Game Radar as well. Did sort of a similar thing, didn't they? Where they sort of cut and cropped shit and sort of edited stuff. And it's just this media bias is just it's ruining gaming, I think.
Whoever
Ruining gaming.
did that on the Twitter page should be fired. I don't give a shit, because that's bad.
Yeah.
Just that's like taking a product and
I
then
suppose
just
Xbox
claiming
don't
it's
go for
yours.
copyright, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
let's talk
basically.
about Xbox after the showcase though. Them throwing shade and putting that tweet out with all those games that were third party coming to Xbox as
Red just
well.
caught up.
Like fuck, that was comedy gold right there. I was so happy that they did that. Then PlayStation can't turn around and try and say that these games are fucking exclusive like they've done in the past. That was so smart. It just reminded me of like how PlayStation were last generation, being snippy and kind of throwing shade at Xbox the whole time. This is how you share games and all of this
You
other
missed the
stuff.
point, Red. PlayStation didn't have to do that because IGN did it. IGN cut off the Xbox logo and stuck PlayStation 5 there instead.
They did, but Xbox's
promote it.
original tweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We get that, but how many people are going to review IGN's site and see them advertising all those games with PlayStation 5 next to it under IGN's name?
That's just
And why is
lazy.
IGN? Well, it's not just lazy. It's like, why is IGN openly not only doctoring Xbox advertisements, but openly promoting PlayStation 5?
Cuts.
Xbox advertisement.
We know
It's just-
why.
yeah.
They love
clear bias.
that, and that's how they get trafficked through their oh my god, through their website basically.
Yeah.
By
It's clear bias.
living up to some ridiculous notion that PlayStation has cemented themselves for this generation as the market leader with this showcase, guys.
And they'll always be the market leader with the media in charge. The media, because just like reality, just like anything like CNN and Fox, media really controls everyone's opinions, and Xbox will never have a lead as long as the media is just guiding the populace into what direction, what you should buy, where you should, what games are going where, and it's sad because there's never going to be an equal competition in gaming while the media is directing gamers to where they should game
Like, I mean,
by misleading people.
getting back to the
Sadly.
showcase, if PlayStation was really going to money hat things, we would have seen, I feel like, a lot more games that were new to us. There were quite a few games that had already been announced, and we were seeing the 20th Final Fantasy 16 trailer, it felt like. Didn't they do a big showcase previously on Final Fantasy 16? And then we had to see another trailer about it again. It reminded me of how we saw
They do that all the time.
Deathloop's trailer like 1,000 times before Deathloop launched.
Yeah, they do that all the time. The thing is that they showed a CGI trailer for 30 seconds, 2 years ago of Wolverine, and they didn't have a follow-up. I mean, even just another CGI trailer as a follow-up, that's worrisome. And you can't tell me the PlayStation aren't scared of showing things 4 or 5 years in advance. They do. They've always done that. And I say 4 or 5 years, it might sound a bit long, but it used to be 3. Now things take longer. So the fact that they're not scared of showing stuff well in advance and they showed nothing shows they got nothing.
Yeah.
And they couldn't even put a CG trailer together to save their lives.
I reckon when we're going to start see PlayStation really start to fire on all cylinders, 2025.
Yeah.
That's
Maybe.
when. Yeah.
Wow, that's a long way away.
Because even
really.
Jim Ryan
Yes,
said
it is.
we're 3 years into the generation, and then this is what we saw.
Yeah. Before we get into the list, as we said, The Last of Us Factions was announced in 2019, and they've still shown nothing. So they're not shy of announcing games way in advance.
Nope.
So, and they've still not shown anything. So I think PlayStation can do what they always do and get away with it. Is that they're going to be dry now up until the last 2 years of the end of the generation, and then drop everything, and the media go, "Oh, fantastic," because they're end on a high, and everyone will be like, "Oh, they're the best, and all the right praise will go to PlayStation, having just done nothing for the past few years, and everything will be just crammed into the last couple of years." That's what we'll see again, just same as PlayStation 4. Exactly same happened. The last 2 years was its highlight, and that's what everyone remembers and recalls. Prior to that, everyone's just memories were just phased for some reason.
Yeah, you're right. Yep.
Yeah.
But let's go through this run. Let's run through this list then. So we got the first game I showed was Fair Game.
Yeah, Fair Games.
Yeah, Fair Games. Yeah. No release date was given. This list is brought to you by the fantastic Red Dead Panda.
It's not up on screen, by the way, but yeah.
It's up on screen. Yeah, so I'm gonna.
What a weird game to open with, though. You normally open with a banger, then do all the boring shit. At the middle, do a banger.
The pacing was
then
poor,
at the end, do a
wasn't
banger.
there? The pacing was
What
poor.
is going on?
Now for some
Yeah.
boring shit.
They had no bangers, Jen. That was the problem.
They did, and it was their fan base
They
banging their
did.
heads
They
against
did. They're
the
just
table.
not enough. Just not enough.
Fair Game looked like Outriders.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it was a heist game, right? Because it's coming to the PlayStation 5 and PC, and it's going to be a games as a service game, and so that's going to launch day and date on PC, I reckon. And that's from first party studio Haven.
Yeah, Haven. Yeah. So that's what we had first. Looked alright. Yeah. Helldivers 2. Coming to PS5, PC, third party, made by Arrowhead. That's coming this year.
I didn't even know there were Helldivers 1.
No.
Yeah, there's a Helldivers one. But that's only coming in 2023. That does not give me any sort of confidence that this game is actually launching this year.
Oh, was that the game that was like Starship Troopers?
Starship Troopers. Yeah, that's that game. Yeah, which
That's
I
gonna
was
be- that's gonna
hoping
come
it
to
was a
Xbox.
Starship Troopers game because I'm like, yes, I love Starship
Starfall.
Troopers.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. I mean, I did like the trailer. It did look fun. Yeah. What are you guys' thoughts?
I think that's going to come to Xbox. I think that's timed.
Probably.
Yeah, I think it definitely is. I think it just wasn't mentioned. Like a few of the games on this list are actually already been sort of more or less confirmed as timed. Yeah, the game. I think the game looked quite good. As you said, the moment I see it, I knew it was Starship Troopers. I love Starship Troopers, and I thought it'd be really exciting for a good Starship Troopers game. So, yeah, it looked alright. What do you guys think? I thought it was alright.
Yeah, I
Meh.
can't remember it.
The next game, yeah.
So the next game, Immortals of Avium, I've seen trailers of that on YouTube, and that actually looks like a game I would really enjoy. It's my kind of vibe. But saying that, what they showed of it at the showcase, was pretty lame. It looked a bit like a mobile game to me.
Well, I mean,
So yeah, I don't think they displayed it as best it could be.
we talked about it last time, I think, that this game showed up, because it's shown previously, and the way that the gameplay mechanics look, it reminded me of how we got that teaser for Avowed with the magic sign. Just the way that mechanic works on his hands and stuff. Shout out to, is it Jessica? What's her name? Not Jessica. I can't think of the name, but she does all those voices in all the games. She's like Ikora in Destiny. I love that actress. She plays Jessica in, like, what's it called? Suits. She's one of those, and she was in Serenity.
No, watch that.
And Firefly. And so she's actually in it. I saw her in the trailer. I'm like, yes, love her. This is coming out in July 2023. Like, are we going to see more of this in at the game show for Keeley's? Because that's releasing in July, and I felt like we might have seen more of it before then. Thoughts, Ashtray?
Yeah, I can't remember this game at all.
I wasn't listening at all.
Immortals of
Wow.
Immortals of
Immortals of
Avian.
Avian.
Oh.
That was that EA game, so it's third party. It's
Is that the one that
Magic.
looked like
coming
Avowed?
to
The Jedi, is that
all
the
of
one that
us.
looked like Avowed? Is it like, yeah, is that the one you got spells and stuff like that?
Yeah, so
Yes.
yeah.
That's
Oh yeah, I remember that one now. Yeah, it didn't look too bad actually. I quite like the look of that. Yeah, it reminded me of. There's a game I've played before like it. I can't think of the game now.
Yeah,
There's a
Conan.
game that- Using
the
spells
only
and
game you
stuff like that.
play.
Yeah, the only game you've played.
What's the game? There is a game like it that use all the spells, do all the same sort of spell actions and stuff. It almost mimics it. Can't remember
Are
what it's
you
now. But
thinking
yeah,
of Ghostwire Tokyo?
No, it's an older game. I can't think it was now. But it almost uses exactly the same magic thing.
Well, it's got that similar look like Avowed.
Yeah, that's what I was, yeah.
Yeah. It's Jedi said, yeah.
It does
I
look a lot
honestly
like
wasn't
Avowed,
listening to you
yeah.
guys, so that's yeah,
Yeah, that's what
Right.
I was saying. It does look like Avowed. Yeah.
yeah.
It does like that, yeah. But this one's going to be multiplayer, yeah.
Hmm.
But there is a game, I'll have to watch it again, and it'll pop up back in my head. There is a game that it looks like it's just taken off, basically.
Well, because it's.
Let's go.
I was going to say,
Go on.
because it's EA, I'm not going to buy this day one. I'm just going to wait for it to come in 6 months later into Game Pass through EA Play and play it then.
That sounds like a good
Absolutely,
idea.
I
Yeah,
know.
we get it.
Great idea.
With Game Pass,
Yeah.
everyone, get Game Pass, you get to play it. Instead of paying 70 quid for it. Right, Ghost Runner 2. Looked interesting. Not sure about that. You go around on the motorbike. Did you get off the motorbike? Did you get off it? And you
Yeah,
can fight stuff
have
and
you
stuff
seen the
like that?
stuff for the first game?
There's a Ghost Runner 1.
Well, there's
Okay.
obviously, if there's a 2,
Well, if there's a 2, it would indicate that
2
there's
always
a Ghost
follows
Runner
1 Elite.
Math's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hours, I think.
Yeah.
I just watched 2 players.
Don't give up your
I've
day
never heard
job,
of Ghost
Elite.
Runner before. I've never heard of Ghost Runners.
He has a job. I thought he was signing on.
I do. That's why I get to drink all day long. I'm in a park.
He's-
right now.
He's on what we call the dole in the UK.
Yeah, the dole.
Yeah, we got it. We got the same thing. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know these series of games, but it looked interesting. But
Move on. Boring.
Phantom Blade,
Phantom Blade. Yeah. Again,
Apparently,
that looked amazing. I thought that
Looked
looked
really
really good. But since I've heard it's a sequel to a mobile game, I'm not as hopeful.
Well,
don't
it
know.
started off as a mobile game because it's actually, I think it's a Chinese studio. So it started out as a mobile game, and
Like Ghost of
it's
Tsushima.
going on. It's on Unreal Engine 5, from my understanding, and they've put it there. It looked impressive, so I'm gonna wait to see how it maybe turns out. But yeah, I was a bit shocked that it actually started out, like, the developers started out with mobile, so this will be their first proper, full-on style game like this.
like Ghost of
Yeah.
Tsushima.
No, it doesn't.
It does not. It looks like
Gameplay is
time.
going to be key,
It's
whether it's
time.
going to be any good.
it reminded me a bit like of a Souls game, but also of it like not a Souls game, like a Ninja Gaiden or Gaiden, whatever.
Maybe I didn't see that.
Wulong.
Wulong, yeah, Wulong as well.
Yeah, more like Wolong.
Yeah. It looks
You
good.
right, Elite?
Nah.
No, what's it? What's the new game? Not Wulong, the one where you play the monkey god.
Wulong?
I thought it looked more like that. It's not
Shaolin?
Wulong, is it? No, it's a new game coming out, isn't it? It's been dropped this year where you play the monkey god.
I can't remember.
No, I can't remember either.
I know the one you're
Chat
talking
will
about,
famous,
but I
you know.
can't. Yeah, maybe the chat
Yeah.
will remember the name of that game.
It's
I
got a
can't.
name like that. I
That
thought
one
it looked
looked
more like that.
really good, that game. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to. I really want to play that. Oh shit.
Fizz.
No, I'm alright.
Shivers.
Yeah. Right. Sword of the Sea. Hype.
Don't remember it.
No, it wasn't given a
Uh,
game. It's the same studio who made Journey. Basically, you're on like a blade and you're surfing through the sand, and then suddenly ocean, and then
Breath of the
dolphins
Wild.
flying through the sea, air,
Yes,
and
Breath of the Wild.
I mean, they've done good, solid games in the past.
Yeah.
Abzu was good.
Yeah, it was good. So this is Giant Squid Games, but no date given. It was nice. I will
Myth
call the
Wukong.
PlayStation out and say it was nice that they were putting some indie devs out on
Shit,
display,
real
because
gamer.
after their wording around not wanting to do that and how they were focusing on big AAA blockbuster titles, blah 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 blah. Jim Ryan said this, that, and the other thing. Yeah, it was nice to see that they did have some indie games up on there.
Yeah, Riskit said Black Myth Wukong. That's the one I'm looking forward to. Yeah, that's why I thought more like that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to that game. Definitely gonna play that. I might even buy it.
What's that bell
uh,
sound?
Someone's
In the background.
stirring a drink.
That's me stirring my vodka. Sorry. Right. Right.
Shaken, not stirred.
So Sword of the Sea was
Nothing to talk about.
The Talos Principle 2.
That's a
no
No
puzzle
one
game.
cares.
Can't even remember that game at all.
Well, that's a puzzle
Never.
based game.
No one cares.
No.
Neither.
Neither. No one cares. Cat Quest,
Quest.
Pirates of the
Right.
Now,
Minecraft
everyone cares
Dungeon.
about this because it's cats. That looked pretty good. But again, it's gonna be on Xbox. So is it a reveal? Is it fuck?
No.
You just want to spend.
And then we're on to the biggest
Game of the show.
of the showcase.
The
Yeah,
Foam
the
Stars.
Foam Stars.
Oh, Foam Stars.
Da-na-na. Which is basically Splatoon with soap.
Yeah.
Hey, wet t-shirt
Yeah.
competitions. You know they're going to have those
And you
skins.
see, and you see Nintendo through Shade that, didn't I? See, did I share that Nintendo through Shade it and all?
Of course
So
they
if
did.
we'd known that, yeah, if we'd
Did
known
they
that was
really? I
gonna-
didn't see that. I didn't see
Yeah.
that.
No, they
What'd
didn't
they
throw
say?
shade. They threw foam at it.
And they threw foam.
Red, you redeemed yourself there for a little bit.
And then got
then
fired
Oh, yeah.
immediately.
You,
I think they said something along the lines if we knew they was going to show Splatoon and a Wii U, because they showed their and a Wii U, we would have. I can't remember. What
I
it said now,
felt
but it
like
said
that too.
Yeah.
I definitely
Yeah.
felt like that. I was like, oh, Nintendo's not going to be impressed with this freaking clone.
something.
yeah, trying to mix it in with like almost like Fortnite style graphics as
Well,
well.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest.
Obviously, Sony said what's popular, and they've said a bunch of games, and they said, yeah, just copy them all.
From
it's
the-
clear as happened.
From the get-go, when this whole trailer started, I was like, okay, don't like the art style, don't like the characters already, the look of them. That's just not my cup of tea. And then they were shooting like champagne bottles and other stuff. I'm like, what the hell is this? And then they announced Foam Stars. I was like, oh my god, they're gonna be dead on the arrival around the rest of the world. It might do well in Japan, but around the rest of the world, whew, Destruction All Stars much.
That's what it's gonna be,
I can't see longevity in this game either.
No, I mean Foam doesn't last long anyway, you know. So
Oh god, Red.
And who's making that game?
Holy
And
shit.
who's making that game?
Have
sorry,
you already
Ashley.
had a have you already had a brownie?
No,
today?
I'm sober at the moment because I've got to
Jesus.
go drive like an hour to my friend's house after this, so I'm sober. I've had coffee
Right.
because my energy levels I was pretty fucked today. So I've had
I can't
coffee.
remember the last time I was sober.
When you woke up, maybe?
That'll be me
3
tonight
days.
though because I'm gonna go watch Guardians of the Galaxy 3 and then I'm getting shit
I've
faced
watched that, it's
tonight.
brilliant.
It's gonna be great.
Shit face.
Nice.
It's-
No
it's-
spoilers, but yeah, I'm going to see that on Monday as well.
I would never
Yeah,
spoil that
it's
for
the
anyone.
best film they've done for a while. It's the best film done for a while. Yeah, they never miss Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Right,
I love
so,
the soundtrack as well.
We should just talk
Yeah.
about that instead of the PlayStation Showcase,
We should
right?
do.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, fuck it, it's more interesting.
Okay,
I've just
in the
realised
chat, who else is looking forward to Foam Stars? Who's playing that day one?
Wait, I've only just realised it's made by Square Enix.
Yeah.
Getting
So that's
salty.
another Square Enix exclusive.
Well, it's
which
not
is gonna
just
die on
it's not just
PlayStation.
sad that it's Square Enix. It's just like Square Enix hasn't been smart with their money recently and what they've been doing with the IPs and such. But they're willing to put money into Foam Stars. Like,
Yeah.
rethink your priorities.
Make
Like you're struggling
PlayStation
financially.
4 and 5 exclusive, thinking it's going to do successful and they're going to make money back. We're going to see another message now from Square Enix, aren't we? Where they go when he says, "Oh, we didn't make money, yada yada yada, moan, complain." Like what was the last guy did that to? The game flopped in it, and they complained,
Well,
and everyone said, "Stop making your games exclusive." You fucking
At
idiots."
this
I'm like,
stage,
what
it's
the hell is
only
that?
announced for PS4 and PS5. In order for this to do well, it's got to go to PC, and maybe they might look at Xbox or something, or even PlayStation. I mean, Nintendo. Nintendo is like, nah, we've got a
PlayStation
game like
can
that
if
already.
they got this game. Clearly,
It's
PlayStation
not
can
if they don't push it out to more platforms, it's not going to do well,
Yeah,
especially not in the
They're gonna lose
Western
money.
side of.
Next game, Plucky Square. It's
Plucky Squire. I might have spelled it
Skip.
wrong. My spelling's appalling.
Yeah, Plucky Squire. I think it's right. No one cares. Teardown.
No, Plucky Squire looked good, but again, it looked like a rip-off of a Nintendo game.
Yeah.
It
Skip.
had like Paper Mario mechanics to it. Like,
Skip already.
I will play that because it's coming to Xbox, so I'm going to play that.
Shut up, Meg. Teardown.
Get it, Brad.
Yeah. Shut up, Red.
Teardown.
That's what we're doing right now. Tearing down the showcase. Yeah, I agree.
Minecraft ripoff. Half these games are just ripoffs of other games.
Well, we've already seen this
Teardown
game.
feels like a Minecraft ripoff.
This is already on Steam. I'm pretty sure I saw it like a year ago or 2 years ago. So, not surprised.
Don't care. Metal Gear Solid. Don't care. No one cares about that. Let's move on. Towers of.
There are some people that do.
Some. These are the same people that. Oh, I hate these people. These are people that say, "Oh, these are the people that sort of 20 years ago played these games and sort of have some sort of remembrance of a game when they was younger, playing indoors and that." And when these games come out again, they remake them. They go, "Oh, I can't wait to play this," and they replay it when they're older, and they're like, "Shit."
Well, I'm not a Kojima fan, and Metal Gear Solid is his brainchild, and no thank you.
average.
So it was Matt. I'm glad that it excited some people out in the community, but it's a remake.
And it's called Snake Eater, which seems weird. I don't just when I see Snake Eater on it, I just
Well,
thought
that's
it's
the
weird.
name of the third title.
Yeah, that's I know, and it just seems weird.
Well, I mean,
I don't know. It seems because his name's Snake, isn't it?
Yeah.
yeah.
Solid
Yeah,
Snake,
and I know it just seems
It's
some
about
sort of
cannibalism.
innuendo
Did you not know? He doesn't show up in any of the other
Cannibalism.
games. They eat
I've
him.
always liked an innuendo. I thought, like, yeah. Anyway,
The trailer was pointless though.
Oh
Like,
yeah, everyone. Yeah, go Ashtray.
I was
We're
just gonna
mad.
say it just didn't really do anything. It's like pointless.
I
All right,
thought-
you
I
saw his
thought
face
it-
at the end.
I thought it was going to be like an adult version, like more a realistic version of Grounded when it started with the ant. And then I was like, oh, is this a realistic version of Grounded? That's cool. And then it turned into that, and I was like, yeah, pass.
Yeah. But that doesn't count as a game, so it shows CGI, so it doesn't count. So that game's not releasing. So
Then you had
right, let's move on.
Image of Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, and 3 Master Collection, which is part 1. So they're doing a part 2, no doubt, which will include the other games. That's coming out in autumn 2023.
Yep, money grab everyone. Towers of Agashaber. Yeah. Is that say Dream Clit?
What?
Dream Clit? It's made by
Dreamlit.
Oh.
There is no C there.
Yeah.
How much have you had to drink?
Well,
I mean,
Obviously a lot.
we know what you're dreaming about tonight, Elite.
Dream Clit. So, I don't care about that game.
and we've lost all our viewers.
Yep, they all left.
No, Bob is still with us. 'cause
Boba,
he likes
you
bits.
honestly get a restraining
Towers
order.
I think that's more about it's a pity watch, honestly.
Yeah, he's doing it for everyone else but you, Elite.
All been there. Towers of a I don't remember.
You've already
Towers
said
of
that.
Akabashi. Yeah. Final Fantasy 16. Alan Wake 2. Anyone?
I mean,
Alan Wake
I
2.
played the first one. I enjoyed it. So we'll see what the second one's like. Yeah.
Yeah, it looked quite interesting actually. It reminded me of the Call of Cthulhu, was it? Cthulhu games. It looked quite dark and evil. I thought it looked quite interesting. I've never played Alan Wake, so
The way they
that sort of sparked me.
the way they showed the trailer, I was like, Alan Wake 2. And then they made me second guess myself. And I go, no, it's a new game. Because it was Epic Games. Then they said it was Remedy. And I'm like, it is Alan Wake 2. I'm involved with Northlight helping with the game. I think it's nice because they're working on the remake of the first game. So everyone's getting Alan Wake 2 as a result. That's third party. Right. And obviously, PlayStation and Remedy have been working hard at building up their relationship because everything that Remedy does almost seems to always be announced or shown on a PlayStation showcase. But I never played. I tried the first game. It's too suspenseful and scary for me, so I turned it off. So I won't be playing this one either. Sad face.
You wuss.
Yama wuss.
Big wuss.
Yeah.
Right. Assassin's Creed. Yeah, another Assassin's Creed game.
No.
No.
You let us talk about this game, Elite. Just because you don't play it, Ashtray. Ashtray loves AC games. I do too.
I thought it was actually a remake of the first game. It looked just like the original game. It looked like the first game. I thought it was just a remake.
Basim? I can't remember his name.
Basim.
There you go. Fuck, I can never remember it.
Look, it's a CGI trailer. It didn't really show much. They said that it was going to go back to the roots of stealth, but there was no stealth elements in the trailer at all. Especially if you watch it back, you'll see what I'm talking about. It's Assassin's Creed. I'll get it day one anyway.
I mean, what they showed,
it says
though...
to the guy, you could either stealth or fight, and then the trailer's him just fighting everyone.
And running around.
Yeah, you can bribe them or... But what they showed, though, looked like the combat had taken a leap forward, and it looked like they'd done like a sort of gameplay type of trailer in there, but with no HUD on it. It did look like it was the game if they remade the first game, because this goes back to like Baghdad, I think. Yeah. I'm super excited for this game, and I'm glad that we're seeing more about it because, it got delayed and it is coming. It's coming out on the 12th of October. It's coming everywhere, so super keen.
I hope that they show some gameplay at the Xbox event. I know PlayStation have showed this, but I don't see why. Because it's a third-party game, I can't see why Xbox can't show up. They showed Valhalla,
like a deep dive or something, eh?
Yeah, an actual gameplay though.
Yeah, like them
would
doing
be
a
nice
mission.
To see.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
And there were some snippets, I guess, but it was only jumping around a bit, and it didn't show much.
Hopefully, based on the feedback Phil got, we're talking about we need to show more gameplay. We need to be clearer on how we record this stuff because there was a lot of not recorded. Oh, this was recorded on a PC in the showcase. Hopefully, that Phil. We get to see that vision of what he said in Xbox's showcase. Yeah.
I don't know. They always seem to not get it right for some reason.
I mean.
But anyway.
The PlayStation set the bar really high, so Xbox is going to have to do a lot to really outdo PlayStation. Like a lot.
So we got.
We just need Pentiment DLC at this point.
Yeah,
and move one.
The thing is, it gets worse as well.
Sexy outfits for Andreas. Let's go.
You joke about that, but it gets worse. It gets like that.
It gets worse. Worse is not a word.
It gets worser.
You sound like a Kiwi making words up.
Worse or worse or. Where was we? Oh, Revenant Hill. Anyone care?
That had a black cat in it, and that's all I remember about that.
Black cat.
Grand Blue Fantasy Relink.
Nah,
don't remember.
That was some random looking game. That
a lot of cartoony games, and the PlayStation fan base hate cartoony games, so they're gonna hate.
It was like an idea Xbox showcase, wasn't it? Let's be fair. There was loads of just like it's not that the games are bad. I don't want to like shit on indie games because, you know, all these different games are great and what they're trying to do in the space, but it's just not worthy of a showcase. And it was just, yeah, we're waiting for the bangers. Where were the bangers?
Told you the
told there were bangers.
PlayStation fan base was banging their heads on the table.
I was told there'll be bangers, dang diddly. What's his
Yeah.
face? Told me directly.
Yeah, I did really enjoy the aftermath though, and all the PlayStation people
But
just
Jess
crying.
Corden even said to expect fire.
Yeah, he was probably on the source.
Yeah.
At the
He
time.
is right. He is the biggest Sony fanboy on my timeline.
Oh shit! There you go.
Because
You heard it here first.
well, no, I have most of them blocked. And I know he's trying to be positive, but I'm sure he probably
Have you
heard
blocked
things
it?
that didn't happen. Eh?
Yeah.
Have you blocked Destin now?
No, I have not. No.
Grey Monad in the chat says Ubisoft has a show the day after Xbox's show.
Yes. Sorry.
If that's
looking
correct,
forward to
then
it.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
know.
Right.
Let's wrap this
Street
up.
Fighter 6. Street Fighter 6.
I haven't-
June 2nd that releases. Oh fucking hell!
There's a lot of people that still like fighting games for some reason.
I don't.
Yeah.
Don't know why.
Yeah, I was only interested in this because I thought it had an open world part, but they've
It
not shown
does.
any of that.
It does. It has
They've not shown much
the
of it.
the guy in it, where he's fighting
Yeah.
with the other characters and stuff, like training. He's meant to be one of the people
Yeah.
you play as. I don't know how it works, but yeah.
Yeah, I want to see that. I'm quite looking forward. I don't know fighting games, but I know.
Well, the beta just released, right? For that
Is
game.
it? Dunno.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could play. You could play it like, yeah, a little bit of it. Don't care.
Ultros.
That was a really colourful looking Steam type game, and it is on Steam.
Remember.
You didn't miss much. I had struggled to watch that. The animations just were off, and it reminded me of like a 30 FPS style game. I think so. Was it the Relink or Tower of Fantasy or something? One of those trailers was running at 30 FPS. Like, and I was like, oh no, I can't watch that trailer. It made me feel sick.
Good, because it almost catched up with what's on screen. Dragon's Dogma.
Yes.
Yeah, no one cares.
What? What? Have you played that game, Elite?
Oh,
Have you
man.
played the first game?
No.
You should definitely play that game. This was like I'm gonna be true about this. Do wish this had showed on a better showcase, because I feel like because I was disappointed with how the show was going on, my hype for that game being announced and seeing what they're doing with the new game wasn't as high as I wanted it to be, because I thoroughly loved the original. They have a pawn system, PAWN, for November. And basically you have your main character, you design a pawn character, and then you can bring in 2 other pawns from other people's games into yours, and then you can hire your one out to play in your friends' games. And so you have like a group of 4 of you, obviously, and you can control and set them up to do what you need to do. But it's so much fun climbing on like a griffin, climbing on trolls, climbing on dragons, and killing the hell out of these things. It's one of the best, most underrated, like I would say, RPGs out there. I'm so glad though that looking at this trailer, they look like they've improved the female characters in this game who are NPCs, because in the first game, any of the girls that you could romance, and it was just part of the storyline sort of thing, they looked like 12-year-old girls, and it was kind of creepy. But
Dauntless was great.
that game, I can't wait to play the sequel. I played it on the 360. I played the definitive edition, which released the Dark Arisen stuff on the Xbox One, and then they made a version available through backwards compatibility for the series games. If you haven't played Dragon's Dogma, I recommend giving it a go. It doesn't look great at the moment because it's old as hell, but it's good.
I just want to cut in there, actually, reminded me of Dauntless. Apparently, Dauntless has been messaging Jen on the side and wants to marry her and stuff like that, so that's why I put it in there.
Oh no, don't do this.
Keep his name out
I'm
of
starting to think now that that's
more like
one of your alt accounts,
My
Elite,
alt
and
accounts,
you're
alt
actually Dauntless.
Yeah. And,
No,
I've got his
so-
picture. I've got his picture from some sort of weird police paedophile profile thing. As the picture.
Shit.
With his comb over.
Oh, no.
Who's in the chat, guys? Who's excited for Dragon's Dogma 2?
Thanks for keeping it back on track, Red.
You're welcome. Yeah.
I don't know. Look,
nobody.
that trailer didn't really. I need to see actual gameplay. I need to
I
see
agree.
someone sitting there playing it.
Yeah.
These CGI trailers are great for giving you a snippet and an idea of what the game's going to be. But these days, I need to see gameplay. I have to.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
You're
it's not enough for me.
Mm.
Yeah.
But you said it's an open world RPG.
Yes, if you play the most recent version, there is actually options to like fast travel to certain locations. In the original game, you like on the 360, you couldn't fast travel. It is a bit hard. Like if you go into areas where you're not powerful enough, you will die. They will definitely punish you that way. You need to make sure that you level up and spec out your pawn, that your character, and make sure that you are getting new pawns that are higher level to go with you and stuff, because you get access to your friends' ones. And yeah, it's such a good game. I do recommend it.
Is it
Interesting.
Yeah, banana. So I just want to say, I was looking at the list. Capcom's actually gone quite mad with the games. Capcom's got. I could see 3 games by Capcom this year. They're working anyway. So, but then again, one of Five Nights at Freddy, Help Wanted 2. Anyone care?
Can I just, before you do that, can I just call out Fuck You's comment going, I can understand Elite arguing with himself.
Absolutely.
100%.
Absolutely.
Oh, it's so
That's
funny.
always with my arguments.
Yeah, sorry, what were you saying? Five Nights at
Freddy's. Anyone?
No.
I love how it said Help Wanted, and I just giggled, and then the number 2 showed up, and I was like, oh, okay, because PlayStation needed help after.
I don't think Five Nights at Freddy's is aimed at our age group, so I don't think you'll find anyone here that are interested.
Nope. Resident Evil 4 VR mode, so we got the VR titles. That actually didn't look too bad for a VR title, but VR's not my friend. Arizona,
Can we just skip past the VR section?
Yeah,
'Cause I
Arizona
could not be left
Sunshine
interested.
2, Crossfire, Sierra Squad,
These are all
Synapse,
games that would have been on
Beat
PC.
Saber, out now. I love how they're like on PlayStation VR 2, and it's like, well, it's out everywhere where there's a VR title, and I mean, it's been out for so long that, nah. Let's talk about Marathon though. That was Bungie's game.
No, wait. We're not going to Marathon yet. Firstly, I want to say fuck you. Secondly, we've got Jim the Gamer in the chat. Thirdly, I want to say they're making a VR doing VR for Crossfire. Crossfire X, isn't it?
Well, it's yeah. There's Crossfire. Yeah.
It was actually Crossfire X because Crossfire X Remedy helped done the campaign for it. But this is just
It's just the name, to be honest. It's the Crossfire
devs.
name.
No, it's the same devs.
Yeah, but I mean, it's
it's
but it's them doing a VR title of
The
Crossfire.
VR version of the Crossfire game, the game we're playing, yeah. So I'm just hoping they carry on that same hate they had for Crossfire for ages when they play it in VR. That's all.
Well,
or will the game suddenly be amazing now because it's in VR? We'll have to wait and see. What's that noise?
it's a drawer opening. It sounded like.
You.
Shit. Shit. Marathon. I thought the game looked average. Or nothing
Well,
special.
it wasn't really a game,
Well,
to be honest. It was
no,
an
it wasn't really a game.
announcement
It
CGI
confused me.
trailer.
I don't know what was going on. I don't know if it was another just a Destiny sort of style game. I don't know. Didn't really give anything away.
It's a
at all.
PvP game, from what
Yeah.
it was. If you aren't aware, Bungie put a sort of some type of thing that people had to figure out in the trailer, and if you did that, you got to see 6 more minutes about the game, and so you got to find more about the game. I was disappointed with this.
It was a banana.
Yeah, I was disappointed with this because I was like, I guess I didn't care about the art style, but I was like, the trailer didn't show anything about like what the point of this game was or anything like that. Like, some sort of indication would have been nice, and I might have had more hype for it, but I was just like, oh yeah, Bungie, we'll wait and see. Meh, not really interested in this, considering what they've done with Destiny 2. Yeah. Anyone else excited for
What do you
Marathon?
think, Jen? No.
What?
Oh.
I mean, it's been a marathon podcast, so...
Not bothered. Sorry.
Yeah. So Destiny 2, no one cares about DLC. So then we got Concord.
Destiny 2 looked like, just to say, the final shape made me think that they're finally finishing with Destiny 2. For them to bring back Cade, I think it's Cade, not Cade 6. But
Yeah, because they killed him off. Like, why is he
it's another
suddenly
version
back?
of Cade, I think. I don't know why they're bringing him back.
I have ideas. So by this stage now, pretty much by the end of it.
No, Elite. I want to talk a bit more about Destiny 2.
Oh,
So you just hold fire.
Always
I've been
premature,
playing-
Elite.
I've been playing Destiny 2 for a while,
it's
and
a big massive banana, isn't it?
yeah, no, I love the lore, the loot, the community, but there's one thing that bothers me about Destiny 2, the lack of battered sausages. So these delicious deep fried treats that make any meal better. Why can't we have more of them in Destiny 2? Why can't we visit a vendor
That's what
who
she
sells
said.
battered sausages? Or finds them as drops, or even why can't we craft them with some exotic ingredients?
Can't even keep a straight face.
Can you not imagine how satisfying it would be to find a battered sausage in Destiny 2
Wouldn't be,
after a
because it'd be
raid?
virtual and you couldn't eat it.
Yeah, but you could share one with your fire team, or after nightfall, or throw one at an enemy as a weapon of mass destruction.
When you're out of ammo, just
Imagine-
throw the battered
Imagine how much
sausages.
damage a battered sausage would do. You know, it's the
banana is
ultimate
there.
If
food.
it's been
Like
left
Sea of
out
Thieves.
long enough, that
Could Sea of
batter, you know,
Thieves
goes
has
hard, so do a lot of
Yeah,
damage.
hashtag battered sausage.
Hashtag bananas. And Sea of Thieves has bananas in it, so I think a banana would be a better weapon.
Oh, my cat's
No,
getting it.
battered sausage is the way to go. Obviously, the meat eater.
All right,
Definitely.
well,
No one wants your vegetarian shit.
Concord, guys. Concord looked like a space odyssey thing, and people were comparing it to PlayStation's version of Starfield. This is due out in 2024. They showed nothing. It was just a random CGI trailer. Nothing. If this is my first time hearing about this game, and this is what they showed, like, WTF? What the fuck, guys? Anyone else?
No, I'm kind of bored of this shit.
You are gonna, yeah. Well, you get to go and watch Gran Turismo in cinema, and you've already seen the
No,
trailer,
wait.
and you didn't have to go to
I
a
was gonna
cinema to
say-
watch the trailer.
I was going to say, by this stage, they've only showed one...
Well, Concord
then-
was first party, right?
and then 2 first-party games. So by this stage, we're pretty much at the end of this showcase, and then it showed 2 first-party games. One of them was Destiny, and the other one was Fair Game. Then they showed
Destiny,
a
Concord,
movie trailer.
Marathon, Fair
With
Games.
Destiny, yeah.
Concord was first
Right.
party as well, because it was Firewalk, how they bought them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Got it. 4. So they showed 4 first-party games. But only 2 of them are exclusive. But only 2 exclusive. So they showed 4 first-party games, 2 of which were exclusive, and none of which were AAAs. And then they showed a movie trailer for Gran Turismo, which was a massive banana. Why don't they show a movie trailer for Gran Turismo in a gaming show? How desperate are you?
Don't know, but no one's going to watch it.
The pacing
That's
of
a
the
fact.
show was awful, to be honest. Like,
It
you look
was.
at that.
It's almost like they crammed that in. What should we do? We've got nothing.
30
to
minutes
show,
into the
nothing.
show, everyone's like, they've still
A
got 30
movie.
minutes. We're going to see the games. End of the show.
Yeah,
When are we seeing the
just put
games?
the movie trailer in there, and I was watching it, and I was thinking, fucking hell, I was like eating a banana at the time. I think it's actually awful. So, Spider-Man 2, let's get onto it.
Well, you don't want to talk about
what's-
Project Q, the handheld that looks like a DualSense controller cut in half and duct taped to a screen?
Oh, do you care about that?
I think the idea of a controller is pretty smart because a controller is obviously quite comfortable. And I like the size of the screen, but I don't like that what they've said so far is
Remote
that
play.
you need to own a PlayStation and you're actually console streaming from the PlayStation to play it.
Yeah.
So to me, it's pointless. Like, if there's no cloud gaming, what's the point? You want something like that so you can play when you're outside the house, not inside the house. Otherwise, why wouldn't you just be playing on your PlayStation?
You want something where like, hey, I've got all these digital games that I've bought through the PlayStation Store. I would like to play them remotely and access them that way as a handheld. And I also thought the same thing. I'm like, well, this is basically a big L in my opinion. A missed opportunity by just making it a remote play over Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
We can now see what
I'd rather play on a battered sausage.
That's just a big waste of money. So they're trying to do 10 gas games. That's not working out so far because they've already closed the studio down. They're looking at this handheld that's got to be tethered to the PlayStation. That's a fat L. Like it's just not really working out too well for them at this point in time.
What made them PlayStation in the first place? PS earbuds, anybody?
No.
As I say, the temperature. If you watch the chat, if you read the chat of the show, everyone was complaining about the Wi-Fi thing. So what's the point? Why have a handheld which is tethered to Wi-Fi? People were going, so you can play it anywhere, and then other people were going, but you can't play it anywhere because you're tethered to Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
So you can't play it anywhere. And you can see now why the CMA why Sony have jumped in and want them to block the whole cloud thingy, because obviously they don't want to take it because it's going to just ruin this. If a cloud kicks off, this would just vanish. It'd be pointless, absolutely pointless.
Well, I mean, it already is anyway.
Well, yeah, it is pointless, but you can see why now Sony and the CMA want this cloud cancelled, because it would just destroy this whole thing, because it is pointless. It's a pointless device.
You see that there's just no innovation at Sony?
No,
there never has been, but it's just becoming more
obvious.
They copy everyone, but they're always a generation behind everyone when they copy people. It's just a pointless device. So yeah, it's gonna die. It's just pointless, isn't it? What would you play on it as well? What would you play?
Spider-Man 2.
Battered sausage 4.
You and your sausages, woman.
Are you craving a battered sausage right now? Is that to absorb the alcohol?
Or is that to absorb something?
But like, it ended on Spider-Man 2. We knew this was going to be here. This wasn't a big shocker. They'd already announced that there was no co-op option in this game. They had to announce it more than once. But it had like that GTA 5 sort of jumping between the two characters side of it. It does look like a definite improvement, like the gameplay mechanics and everything like that. But like,
did you play the first one, Red?
I'm going to be blatantly honest. Spider-Man is a snorefest to me, guys.
Yeah.
I'm just not a Spider-Man fan.
Oh, that's cold.
I'm not a Spider-Man fan. I prefer any other character. Spider-Man is just so mainstream to me.
The gameplay looks almost identical to the first Spider-Man, unfortunately. I mean, look, I enjoyed it, but
they should have shown us Venom's teeth. I wanted to see Venom's teeth. Missed opportunity.
I never played it. Never enjoyed it.
It'll sell because of its name, but yeah, I don't know if it'll sell as good.
But big kick in the teeth though. Fall 2023. Come on, guys. Why no bloody release date?
Yeah, it's a bit of a worry.
I thought it was rumoured to come out in September, so why didn't they just reveal the release date?
Yeah. They probably...
What's going on with that?
No idea. I reckon they're going to push it, and it might even get pushed into 2024.
I said on Twitter, what would have took it to the next level, which they should have done, but they've good old Sony playing it easy because they're lazy.
Well, a lot of people think that you're going to see a PS4 version of this game. If it's not at release, it's going to be 6 months later. With PlayStation going, and I think even Umbra said this on his show, The Fix, yesterday. He's like, we've heard what you've been asking us, and we've listened to your feedback, and we're giving you this game on the PS4. Yeah, probably going to happen.
And explain it, because the quality of it doesn't look great for a start.
It's still in development, though. But, I mean, it's still got to...
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's just not... It's not like ticking our boxes, is it?
No,
not
not like
big
that
reveal.
battered sausage ticks. Jen's
No,
box.
exactly. What would make it better was battered sausages. So, you know, if we had those juicy mouth-watering snacks that make any day better, why can't we have them in Spider-Man 2? Why can't we swing by a hot dog stand and just grab
Honestly,
one?
I feel like you
What the
need to
fuck
play
has this
some
show
more
turned into?
bug snacks with the hot dogs for hands. Wiener hands.
Why can't Aunt May just give you a battered sausage as a gadget to distract enemies? You know, they're
She's
the
got a
ultimate
craving
food for
that only
Spider-Man.
battered sausages can.
Yeah. You
Elite's
know,
got a battered sausage.
hashtag battered
I'll
sausage for
banana.
Spider-Man 2.
Big banana.
I want battered sausage DLC.
Banana.
It was just, the whole showcase was a bloody letdown.
Banana. Yeah, I agree.
You should have never
Um,
put the word PlayStation on the side of it. Should have just been a goddamn third-party showcase where PlayStation showed something and said, ha! But, like, what the fuck were they thinking?
So Red,
Launch
now that
this.
we've just recapped it,
Battered sausages.
Red, now that we've just recapped it, what score would you give it? Would you still give it a
I'm gonna
6.5?
I'm gonna keep it to the 6.5. Every time I watch this showcase, I get more disappointed with it.
6.5 battered sausages.
And purely because there was Assassin's Creed Mirage, there was Dragon's Dogma 2. There was plenty of games that were like third party that I would play, like even that Immortals of Avium game. If I look, like I said, if I was a PlayStation gamer, I would probably have given it a 3 out of 10 if I was a PlayStation gamer. But I'm not a
there you go.
PlayStation gamer.
Sausages out of 10.
Fuck, I think we need to end the show.
Shh. Just put a sausage in your mouth and be quiet, Jen.
Yeah, put banana in your mouth. A big massive banana.
Oh, fuck.
Sorry, guys.
Oh,
Right.
pineapple
That's
is
it.
a...
Can I just say something?
Oh no, get the sausage
Nah.
out of your mouth first.
Banana.
Elite messaged me before the show and he said
No,
we're gonna
don't.
go. We're
Go
gonna
on,
go.
expose him.
Do
Oh,
it.
God.
Not
damn
fix him. He said we're both going to have a word that we need to get into the show. And I gave him banana and I had battered sausage.
God.
You did a much better
But
job than him. He mentioned banana a few
Oh.
times, but I feel like you really hit it home.
He's pathetic. I really integrated it into the reviews.
You did. You really battered the sausage on that one. Oh my god.
Yeah, she integrated better.
Do you all agree that I won?
100%. In
I
the
won
chat,
on this
in the
one.
chat, even if you Elite, you should really put up a poll.
Unfortunately, I think the chat lost.
Yeah.
Completely gone. Oh.
What happened?
Did
Did OBS die on me?
Elite, you were just like sat
Oh.
there going banana, banana, banana. You weren't even trying to make it realistic.
I need to transition this back.
I couldn't really make it realistic.
All right. That'll be about it.
Yeah.
I was going to say,
See you guys next week.
Free advertising for D-Batch, guys. It was in my next video to watch.
I was just laughing at Elite going banana, banana, like panicking that he was losing.
Wow.
Jen's gone.
So, Ashtray, are we starting our own show next week by ourselves?
Sorry.
Yeah, I think so. Same time.
Yeah, same time. What are we going to call it?
Not elites.
Not Elite. Delete Elite.
Battered sausage initiative.
Oh fuck. All right, even I'm gonna jump out.
All right. Thank you guys for tuning in and listening to us and such. And oh my
Please
god,
sub
I
and
can't even
share.
think anymore because you guys are
Yeah.
crazy.
Let us know.
Sorry.
in the comments.
Just end it, Red.
Let us know your thoughts of the show.
All
And
right.
thank you for watching.
Yeah.
And
Bye for now.
bye for now.
Because Jen's about to die.
Jen, we're Jen down.
All right. See you guys later.
Bye.